times lie ahead, with company worth keeping, to the flash smile in your head. Come on in, the door's open, you'll find just the friends folks here. Pull up a chair, grab a drink, and let our stories show again. Cause we're talk the tavern. Here you're always welcome. The talk the tavern. Promising beer and fair love. The talk the tavern.
It doesn't say talk at the tavern. And welcome to Monday, December 10th, Talk at the Tavern. It looks like this might be... No, we'll have... I don't know if we're going to do the holidays here on Talk at the Tavern. We normally do previous years, but I don't know it. The last 2 weekend, or Mondays of the month, might be iffy. I'm the host, I'm Travis. There's a sticky thing here. Why is there a sticky thing there? Oh, that's why. And I am joined by Andrea.
Hi. I forgot. Vices? Yes. I have tea and knitting. It's the Secret Santa gift exchange.
And pussy.
That's Mr. Biden Otter.
It is. It's horrifying that he calls her pussy that.
Well, you know.
We're also joined by Elizabeth, who may or may not be having a few connection issues. Hi, Elizabeth. What do you got today?
Hello, everyone. I have much Christmas cheer and beer. And tonight, I will be drinking out of ever popular Get Yours Today. Talk at the Tavern Bucks.
Here.
I'm drinking cold style aviator beer. 3 bones. No bones about it. Whoop, whoop. And as always, my cuntlicious water.
There you go. It's a different cup than last week. You can't just keep stitching.
You washed your cunt off.
I did. And I put ice in it. The cunt will be with us shortly.
There we go.
Otter.
And we have 2 placeholders. We'll be joined later by Chris and Kevin, and as they pop in, we'll let them tell us what the hell their vices are this week.
They're not done burying the bodies.
That's right.
Don't tell anybody.
So, anything new for you in the past 7 days there, Elizabeth?
I saw the Smithfield Christmas Parade. It was a delight. And it's funny to have moved because I'll see people I know, but I can't put them in context. I can't figure out who they are. And then they give me such a hard time because they know who I am.
Right.
So they say, oh, now you remember me.
Mm-hmm.
And they never help. They never say, Elizabeth, it's me, Jody, or, we suffer.
If they all could get together, they can all be like, it's us, Jody. Like 15 of them.
It's fun, and I know it's a small town, but I love it. I love a parade. I love people creating. And then that night, I went and saw the U.S. Navy Band play their Christmas, the tour this year. And I have to say, I was really impressed by their talent and just passion for playing, and they really rocked this house. And the audience was mostly older, and they were it was incredible. It was that vibration in the air when talent and craft and teamwork all joined in. And it just was you could taste it and feel it. And
now, let me ask you this. The town you're in has a population of what, 300, 500?
12.
Oh, I think we're about 6,000.
Really? Okay, so what was the parade like in that kind of small town?
Well, there were a lot of floats. It was easily over 100.
Really?
The parade is, oh yeah. But see, Smithfield, and so we get some smaller towns like Windsor and Franklin coming to join us. All of the schools do a float or some kind of parade, the dance schools. A lot of the guys that collect and tune and fix old cars are there. Police, the fire department. It's a hoot. You're you could literally hit them with like a baseball. You're so close to these people.
Don't hit
Well,
'em.
they discourage us from doing that again.
I prefer to be on a float rather than watching, because when you're on a float, when you go on the back street, people come out of their houses and give you drinks at it.
Oh. See, I have started becoming afloat myself as I overeat, and I'll get to you gentlemen in just a minute and introduce you guys, or let you introduce yourself
That's
as
what
well.
I say.
I just didn't want to interrupt Elizabeth. They were busy eating, not in front of us.
Remind us who you are again.
So, Elizabeth, are we... So, with the parade, do we have any other parade questions, or should we introduce the boys?
Let's get to the boys.
We could
Was
have...
Santa there?
We just call him Lefty and Righty.
Santa was there, and I know him. So.
Oh.
You know Santa.
Santa was there. All of the Disney characters were there.
Uh-huh.
There were some floats that were really amazing. They did a battleship, and it was at least 20 feet long, and they built it out of cardboard
And a Cadillac.
it was really
Because a Cadillac is like 18 foot long by itself anyway.
it was enormous. I took video of it, not great, and it was just a ball. You're standing in the cold. It's silly. It's small, and it's a hoot. It's a real hoot. And you just bring your travel coffee mug. You can drink the whole time.
Yeah, you do.
How big is your travel coffee mug that you could drink the whole time?
It's like a cooler.
Well, I rode my bike, so I had beers in my front, I guess, basket.
Nice. Okay, let's introduce the gentleman. What? Oh, one more thing? Yeah. No, go on.
One more thing.
Yeah.
If you're ever in a small town and you want to go to a parade, find out where the pre-parade route is, because everyone has to line up. And I was fortunate enough to ride my bike through that, so I got to see the whole parade and chit-chat with people on my way to the end while I waited for the actual parade.
Now, let me ask you this. Do you have like a Bluetooth wireless speaker that you can hook up to your phone?
No. Well, yeah,
Okay.
I do. Yeah.
Okay. Because you need to make sure you have one. Then you need to put in the basket of your bike and get the witch's theme from Wizard of Oz. So as you're pedaling around town, you're like, nee, 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 nee.
Oh, that would be great.
Just watch people turn and you...
Well, you need that, the Emperor's theme, and maybe Jaws.
Hey, there we go.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
I'm going swimming. I'm gonna play.
Listen to the boys.
The Imperial March.
Okay,
yeah.
let's start with the one that showed up first. So, Chris is very excited because he knows I'm going to call on him. What? What? So, yeah, Chris, what's your vices tonight?
Good.
I'm drinking rum and Dr. Pepper this evening.
What kind of rum?
Sassy.
Blackheart.
Okay, so you've got spiced rum in your Dr. Pepper. How is it?
It tastes like a slightly stronger Dr. Pepper. With a little bit more cherry.
Okay.
Dr. Pepper has... I thought it was prunes.
What?
Dr. Pepper is prune-based, isn't it?
God, I don't...
No.
No?
Prunes is definitely not one of the 31 flavors.
Ew. Oh God, he's gonna Google
How
it.
Oh.
can you be so sure?
I can't, and now I have to go look it up.
I haven't met yet.
Oh,
Rum and
wow.
prunes.
There is a list. Cola, cherry,
Look it up.
licorice, amaretto, vanilla, blackberry, apricot, blackberry, caramel, pepper, anise, sarsaparilla, ginger, molasses, lemon, plum, orange, nutmeg, cardamom, allspice, coriander, juniper, birch, and prickly ash.
There you go.
What is the...
Where's what?
It must be... based...
I made a few ashes in my time. Ash holes.
The rumor.
Oh,
No.
See, it might be Mr. Pibb that is a prune-based soda.
Ew.
There's a lot of questions. I'll have to look this up later. I want to introduce Kevin first. Kevin, what do you got here? What are you bringing to the table
Prune
tonight?
juice?
Very little tonight. I am smoking hand-rolled drum tobacco as usual, and to drink I have absolutely nothing.
What?
Nope.
Oh.
Because
Nope.
I came rushing straight from the front door to get set up and join the show on time.
We'll go get a drink for
But
heaven's sake.
didn't
I'll do
you-
it in a minute.
Didn't you get food and stuff and eat?
No.
No, were you just sitting there with a blank screen for 15 minutes and not
No,
doing
for like
anything?
5, and it
Oh.
wouldn't have been that long, but somebody messaged me and said, can you join the call, but just mute your microphone and blank your screen. I
Yeah,
did.
so you could have gone and got him food and done everything. That's what that stretch was for you to fuck off and get your shit, and then come back when you're ready.
When
Just
I
so
logged onto the call, it was 5 past, and I didn't realise you were late starting.
yeah, we were waiting for everybody, and I was having technical issues because the 3-person
Not technical
screen
issues.
wasn't set up correctly, but the 4-person was. So, and then when I went to the 4-person, my camera was missing, and yeah, fuck you, life. Just fuck all of you.
That's
Thanks,
my mom.
Skype.
But you can call me Kev, not Life, it's fine.
It's a.
Fuck you, life, beer.
So what about you two guys? What's going on in the past 7 days with you two?
Christmas parties.
Really? Now, what are they like? Do you have like?
For them or for me? For them, great fun. Lots of great food, lots of drinking, time out with your work colleagues or your families, a celebration of the season, your usual typical happy-go-lucky Christmas stuff. For me, hell on earth. They all die and burn slowly and horribly in a horrendous auto accident on the way home from the party.
I see we're in the same mood today.
My new boss started today, and she tried to convince me to wear a set of reindeer horns.
Good.
Not an auspicious start.
All right then.
You already
Well, I
hit
said
the
to her I was quite
ceiling.
willing to, as long as she was willing to pick up the medical bill and then got caught in the rotating air conditioning fans. And
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I'm tall
Where
enough.
were you supposed to
I'm
go?
tall enough. I feel the breeze every time I walk underneath it in the centre of the restaurant as it is. I put a set of reindeer antlers on, then I'll be doing a quick 360 around the room.
Chris, I'm not sure if you recall, but Kevin is 6'7" or 6'8", Kev.
6'8".
6'12", you know.
We are like the short people of the group because Chris, you're what, 6 foot, 6'1",
6 foot.
and
He's, like, really
Elizabeth is
tall.
the same, 6'1".
Yeah.
It's alright, on the show we're all 3 inches high.
Squeeze your head. Squeeze your head.
Just reminded me of an amazing. I've forgotten about it for years. You've just reminded me of a brilliant sketch that used to be in a long-running comedy sketch show in Britain about a decade or so ago, and it was the squishy head guy. And it
That
was
would be-
literally just a 30-second clip in each show where he'd be walking down the street or in the library or something, and he'd spot someone and you'd see him going, "Squish your head."
That's called Kids in the
Right,
Hall. It was a
last
Canadian
episode of the
show.
Third series where he met Squashy Head Man. He's walking down the street going, "I squish your head, I squish your head." And there's a guy coming the other way going, "I squash your head, I squash your head." And they stand there and have a battle in the middle of the street.
I know that show. I watched that
No,
show.
there was a Canadian show called Kids in the Hall that had that also.
And then
And then it'd have somebody
Upright-
that would go like this and
is it
stop
the
you.
Upright Citizens Brigade?
Upright Citizens Brigade. Yeah.
Is that what that was? No, that's Kids in the Hall, and then it was Upright Citizens Brigade.
Right.
Yeah.
They're two separate comedy sketch shows,
I like those.
which everybody goes, "Oh, that's like SCTV," where
It's
you
not.
know, well, it's all like vaudeville, and
Oh.
vaudeville's like whatever came before it, and
It's funny. Doesn't it matter? It's funny.
They squish.
where did it all start? Well, I think Mel Brooks nailed it with History of the World.
Ah.
Except
One of
instead
my
of
favourite movies ever.
instead of art and art critic, it would have been comedy and comedy critic.
Third annual Roman orgy in Buffy, first come, first served.
Well, let's do an opening toast. Man, just fuck you.
Okay.
Kevin, did you want to go get a drink real quick?
Like, fuck this.
Go get a drink.
Kev, go get your drink, man.
Alright.
We
I
can't
have-
sit here and talk to you
I
and
have
watch
stuff
you.
that happened the past 7 days.
I know, we're going to talk about it. I just hate to
Tell
leave
us.
Kevin without a drink. Do you want Kevin to be here for it? Because we can have
we
Chris
can
talk.
wait. I don't care.
I don't think anybody
I
else
mean,
is
I
sure.
can go about my boring week, but I don't know that anyone
But
really.
you had
wants to
an
hear about
exciting week. You got a mediocre review.
that. It's true.
Um, And by the way, I want to say hello to Mike and Dropsome and Bob. Thanks for joining us tonight,
Hey.
guys. Good to see you. Tell us what you're drinking, smoking, shooting, slapping, spanking, touching, wanking, or whatever.
Sending me.
You want them to send you one?
No, they could tell me what they're sending me.
Oh,
Oh.
See, there's Bob.
there's Bob.
Oh, bye.
See
Well,
my
let's
scarf?
see. My week in review.
Go ahead, Chris.
Opened a show. Got a mediocre review that the critic who doesn't like African American theater seeing a show that is written by an African American about African Americans and their struggles in 1904 Pittsburgh, said that the set was much prettier than the acting by the main character. Yeah. So if nothing else, go see it for the scenic design.
Which is a bunch of candles in jars that we know the guy who did them.
Yeah.
I was going to say, Chris, that's a phenomenal compliment.
For all of 45 seconds.
Oh.
Wait, what?
Yeah, no.
No,
All of
repeat that.
Work,
Yeah.
I timed it out from when the first cue starts. It's 3 minutes and 45 seconds. So 100+ hours worth of work only gets seen for 3 minutes and 45 seconds. It's rad.
Your producer or director or whoever decided you needed to do all this work is an idiot.
Well, I mean...
No.
Yes. That's kind of what the play calls for and the way they have done it in the past, because the director and the scenic designer have done the last, they did it 8 or 10 years ago together, and it's practically the same design.
Yeah, it would have been better to take a string of white Christmas lights with little fish bowls, and you put one Christmas light in each, and then you put saran wrap behind it, hit it with the fan so it looks like it's moving like water. Done. 6 hours worth of work.
You say that. And then they want each one to turn on individually in different points and look. Yeah. Anyway, so that was the review. And then we started the large move out of the building because we have the renovation coming up starting in January. So I walked into my office after the day off, after we opened, and I didn't have a desk. And everything that was in my desk was in 4 boxes sitting on top of a, fold-out table. No one said, hey, we're going to go through your desk and put everything in boxes because we want to move the desk now.
Wow.
We clearly have a different modus operandi, because if someone at work moves a stapler on my desk, I'll kill their unborn children.
Wow, Kevin the abortion clinic.
In your desk from now on. You should put an enormous dildo in there, or,
With different people's names written on it.
A cider, a bottle of Jameson, and 8 airplane bottles of rum that were then just sitting out on this table. With my stack of paychecks from the last year, pay stubs. They're not actually checks because I have direct deposit. So every time they hand me a pay stub, I just throw it into one of the shelves in my desk. So there's a giant pile of that, and then it was all of my files were in a box, and then I've got a cubby in a box. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt. Tom has said, Kevin, Liz, Travis, Andrea, howdy there, everyone. And Bob,
Howdy.
yes. This show is for you. You should go to Maryland and watch this show at Chris's Theater. It's all for about you, Bob.
It's a good show. It's just under 3 hours long, but it's still good.
There we go. It's
apparently the
yeah.
first 45 seconds are phenomenal.
It's
I think
the candles
you
don't
should-
have until Act 2, so you gotta sit through at least an hour and 15 minutes.
I think that's quite a compliment. All your work was the best part of that show that the critic remembered. Well done, sir. Well done.
You should get a picture of it at least.
Oh, I wonder if I can post some pictures, I think.
That'd be great. Oh my goodness.
So, Andrea, do you want to tell everybody about your week?
Well, I can tell everybody about yesterday.
I'm gonna go get another beer.
Okay, well, that's fine. Well, yesterday, because it was my day off, I'm like, okay,
She got beef and cheese.
that's after.
Ooh.
Oh no, that was
That's
before.
related.
That's what I was going to talk about after. Okay, so we go to have breakfast with John from Jersey's. And I drop off stuff for my kid, you know, holiday stuff, his stocking and everything. And it's starting to snow. I'm like, okay, well, let's go to the grocery store, head home. Heading home, the snow is falling really
Oh, I put that in the wrong.
lots.
Sorry.
Hmm?
No, sorry. I interrupted. I should have muted myself.
You're okay.
Snow falling. It's
Snow
lovely.
is
Going for a
falling.
drive.
I'm driving, everything's okay, and then I hit something. Ice. Slick. And the car is going this way and that way, and then we end up in the median. Stuck in mud and snow and all that. And of course, after that is when the plow truck comes by. You know. So, stuck in a ditch. Some nice people pull us out. Because living out here, the big thing is everybody's got like a big truck and they pull things. So they pull us out. Cool. Almost home, like this close home. Flat tire. Snow's still going. There's like snow banks everywhere. Yeah. He gets the tire changed. After a bunch of junk. Get home. And he goes to move. Travis goes to move his car to the end of the driveway, so, you know, less to go through, so if we have to get out. You want to tell about your car? Doesn't start. So. Yeah,
That sucks.
fun yesterday, but whatever. Nobody was hurt. We got home. His car did start eventually.
I got hurt
You got hurt?
after we got home. Multiple times.
Oh, well, that's for you to tell.
Hmm.
Oh, and
That's
you
your part of the story, Travis.
see, for the holidays, we've adopted a 3-gift thing. A gift for the first snow, which is sometimes after Christmas or whatever.
Sometimes it's in February. you
Yeah.
know.
So, because, you know, it feels like snow when it feels like Christmas when there's snow. So we have a first snow, a Yule, which is first day of winter, and then Christmas. And since yesterday was the first snow, I love these Hickory Farm things. It's like my crack. He got me a Hickory Farms thing for the first snow. It's got the little mustard, which is my favorite.
It's like the sweet mustard.
The sweet hot mustard. Oh my god. Okay. That was my yesterday. How'd you get hurt?
There we go.
Yeah.
That's how I got hurt. Oh, by the way, guys, I threw a link in to the chat here, and I'm going to be posting it throughout the evening. It says, please follow my geek, because I don't know how else to phrase it. I am creating a separate channel for the weekday stuff I do instead of putting it on here, because I have found there is a certain audience for this content. There's another audience for me sitting there online chatting by myself or playing World of Warcraft or doing stuff on eBay or writing or whatever. It's two separate audiences, and we're losing some of the audience when I do the other stuff, so I've just decided to create a second channel. I have posted a link to the other channel. If you guys would kindly follow it, and even if you're like, well, I don't want to watch that other stuff, follow it anyway, just so I can get to affiliate status when I hit 50 followers. I'd appreciate that. So let's see, my week. My son decided he didn't want to hang out again this weekend. He had better things to do. So that's, little responsibility. Yeah, kind of that too, Elizabeth. Yeah. Little less responsibility and one less thing to worry about. But also, yeah, kind of, because he's 15, and most parents don't really fuck me. Okay. You guys talk amongst yourself. I'm cleaning up a beer that just spilled all over the computer.
Daddy
That
has
was
another.
unexpected and yet strangely predictable.
There's another time.
This is why just before I sat down, I was distracted by some slow-cooked pork shoulder that I slipped in the kitchen.
Oh,
Fancy.
that'd work on me.
Sounds better than my dinner.
It's mental, though.
This is the slice. Just throw it on the kitchen floor.
To see it now as I fly into New York with the customs officers. What on earth is this in your bag? And I go,
Do you have anything to declare? Pork shoulder.
Pork shoulder.
I'm packing some
For all the
pork.
towels.
Feel free to search me for it.
Oh, that's funny.
So in the, I guess I can put it also in the group, the general Discord channel. But in our group Discord channel, I put 3 pictures of the set with the candles, if you want to look at it.
Like a happy ring. It's
Oh, it's awesome.
Thanks. It took over 100 hours to do.
Wow.
Oh, bless your heart.
It's 217 candles.
That's a week. That took you a week, huh?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a bitch, man.
A little more than that, but yes.
Curiously enough, 217 candles is precisely the amount of light my forehead gives off when I lean forward.
I was gonna say that about my ass.
No, you can't.
I mean whitetail.
Alright. It's in the general Discord group too. If anyone on Twitch wants to
Excuse me.
see it in this part.
Hey,
I
lady,
got a white
nice
towel,
robe.
and I got white ones. Dry ones.
I love that robe.
I'm trying to find one for you.
It was snowing up here too, on Wednesday and Saturday.
You're going to get much tonight?
Not really. Just enough to make my 4-foot glowing pickle man in the front yard look good. In fact, I'll post it. I can't. I'm on my phone right now. He is at least 4 feet. He's enormous. Chicken wire, Christmas lights. And what happens is I can see him from the kitchen, through the dining room, through the bar window. And I was laughing, and my mother doesn't know why. She said, "What?" And I explained to her, when you look out the window, it looks as if he's coming up over the hill for his house.
Put that elsewhere.
And then when I went out to check on him, I was taking the trash, whatever,
This is
he had actually
water.
turned
The white
and
sticky.
was facing the house. I had a mind of it. Oh, bitch.
Tonight on the Horror Channel, Bride of Nick.
The only thing that's gonna save me is if he gets too close and a little plug. So, yeah. Or maybe it'll just be harder to see. I don't know.
Yeah, you just won't see him coming after that.
Yeah. I gotta get him, I'm gonna I wanna get him some fairy wings, or make him some fairy wings for the convention in January from our time. So,
I have some that are his size if you want them.
do they light up?
Not yet.
Good answer.
Give them in petrol, though.
They need to be washed.
Give it a good light.
I've now
That's
been joined by his fantasy.
Ooh. Oh, yeah, cute.
Red. It's like trying to cuddle a fucking concrete block.
Pork shoulder. That's what you get.
Porky shoulder, you know.
Pork chop.
Oh, thanks. Say hi.
Oh, there's he's got big head. He's big.
He's not small, yeah. Yeah, can't make it bread.
That's cool.
Ross
I had,
bed.
after the parade, we had a couple beers, the brewery, and I had pork rinds, but they made them in the kitchen, and it was the best ones I've ever had. They were very different than not the bag.
I really
So
want
you
to
guys
do
call
that.
them pork rinds? Is that
Yeah, what do you
called?
call
Pork scratchings.
I like that name better. Scratches.
Because they're very itchy.
Oh, that's like that. He just has his way, doesn't he?
Yeah, Alex is no to Fred. You complete no, but he won't. Isn't that right?
This is just the
Yeah. Yeah, and with you and with the kitten, in the same way you kind of know with dogs, you know, sometimes you get puppies, but you can tell by the feet that they're going to grow into a big dog because the feet seem to be abnormally large for the body when they're younger. And you have exactly the same feeling with this guy. And when he was still just a kitten, he had claws like fully developed cats. Not because they have these really long claws, but they're still light enough to attempt that stupid shit like running all the way up your leg. So the first few weeks of the ownership, there's a great deal of scratching and injury, which is why he's called Fred, it's like a good for Freddy Krueger. That's his name, Mr. Krueger.
I remember my first cat, she left off the floor, and I was sitting in this chair with a narrow back, and she grabbed onto the back of my shoulder blade and then dug in and then worked her way up. I still remember how painful that was.
If I'm sat at the laptop gaming in the evening, and I happen to hunch forward slightly because I'm focusing on what I'm doing on the screen, it's looked like I will actually climb up my back and just lay across the back of my shoulders with one head poking round the side and purr constantly in my ear and say, "Oh,
So you have a neck massager, a little warmer.
there's no massaging going on, it's just sit still human, you are now furniture."
How kind of you to provide this space for me.
Yes, head nudge all you're not getting on camera.
He is on camera.
He is, yeah, he's stuffing his way into it.
Yes. Fred. So are those candles going to be a... Where is he? Oh, there's this next one. He looks like he could play the piano. Like a little...
He does at night.
Oh, I got a kitty on me. There's Fred. There he goes. Once he got rid of my friend.
Stick around with them like that. It's like my best friend's cat. He's had none of that. It's like, don't touch me.
It's like the age-old thing about the belly rub, you know, when you hit the magic button, to go from purr to kill machine, and like,
Right.
5 minutes kind of behaving for a couple of minutes, and when he gets rid of it, oh no. There's another one. I eat your head. Just a completely unimpressed look, but whatever.
Which reminds me, I was watching a video yesterday of a man who has this huge king cobra who's giving it a bath, and I was wondering how he did it, and now I realized with Fred, you feed them. They're pliable.
It depends also what country they're in. A lot of the guys in Far Eastern countries who do cobra displays, they will often, unbeknownst to the public, unfortunately use certain tactics like they defang the snake or they devenom them, or in some extreme cases they'll actually sew them out shut.
Oh.
So they appear to be very docile because, they appear to be very docile because they've learned over a prolonged period of trying that they actually can't attack anymore.
That's sad.
Well, he's talked about that and how the shape of the head will change somewhat with that.
It's almost like a cobra.
Yeah. He was acting as if it were still very venomous. I mean, he wasn't messing with it, but he was saying something about, they were having a little bit of trouble shedding, and he said that sometimes letting it soak in water, and he had a big tractor, and he let it in there, for about half an hour. It helps with the process.
Yeah, I mean, actually, a soak's all right. That's normally only very good if they're literally on the point of shedding.
Yeah. They were shedding. They just couldn't.
Generally speaking, rather than dunk into water, making their environment more humid for 48 hours or so will do the trick. So I mean, I've got one guy who sometimes he sheds absolutely perfectly. It's an all-in-one. Sometimes he's really patchy, and with a couple of little stuck bits that irritate the hell out of him because it's a bit like. I know, I suppose I'm not a snake, so I couldn't tell you, but I guess the closest analogy is when you're a human and you've got a scab that's almost ready to fall off, and it gets to that irritating stage where it's itchy and it drives you mad all the time, and you want to play with it even though you know you shouldn't. And he kind of develops behaviour that, I mean, you wouldn't notice it to watch him, but because he's my snake and I see him every day, I can see that he's irritated. He's much more agitated and mobile than he is normally. So I use a fogger system that's designed actually for keeping frogs. So it's just like a little series of small jets that go across the top of the tank. And it just sprays very fine water vapour into the tank about 30 seconds every hour. And that does the trick nicely. That and the heat of the tank, it's kind of like being in a steam bath almost, and that helps get the skin off easy.
So it sloughs off in one valuable piece.
Well, sometimes, but I mean, if he's patchy and the skin is ripped, because what they'll normally do, it's like taking a sock off. I don't know if you've ever seen them do it. What they do is they stretch their jaw as wide as they can, and when the skin's brittle enough and dry enough that it's ready to come off, as they yawn like this, they'll actually create a split by the side of the mouth, and then they'll rub the chin along the ground, rub the back of the head against something until they've rolled it down as far as the neck, and then literally just wriggle around for long enough that it rolls off the body like a sock. So when you find it, it's normally all scrunched up, and you kind of tease it apart like that if it's soft enough, because you want to check whether it's all come off. And it's a sign of good husbandry in snakes. If a snake sheds an all-in-one shed with the skin still intact, that means all your conditions are perfect, because they should do that naturally.
I find them in the front yard. I think it's spring we find them, and our yard is all pineios, and you'll find big long, all the black snakes leave long. Sometimes the other ones are out there. 5 feet long. Ooh, a good one.
Size is nothing. The biggest snake I own is my smallest one.
Yeah.
She's pure evil. Pure distilled evil, 14 inches of it.
You know, the meanest sheriff I ever met was 4'10" woman.
Small man syndrome or small woman.
You know she's mean when even like the 6-foot guy's like, no, she's mean, don't mess with her. Hey, Travis is back.
Hooray! All cleaned up.
Hold on, I still have the camera off.
Okay.
The thing I was waiting for Andrea to get back. Yeah. I was lifting my beer up, and the cat jumped straight into the brand new, freshly poured beer, spilling it all across my laptop.
Oh.
Thank you for your help, Andrea.
Bad kitty.
And it made Andrea have to restart her knitting project.
That's okay.
That's not good.
Now, if anybody made any comments on Twitch, unless if one of you guys are following on Twitch, I had to shut down my... Good. At least somebody... Huh?
Bob said now there'll be only 7 cats.
Maybe.
Apparently, Travis, your cleaning sounds are the same noises they used on Islamic prisoners at Getmo.
And which one of them was attending Gitmo and tending to the Islamic prisoners?
Was that Bob?
This is Bob, obviously.
Well, yeah.
Oh, and apparently you missed a bit up on the left.
It's a tough audience, man.
Can I say, by the way, that now we're live on air, I was highly disappointed to see a plain white cup beer on my screen. Man.
I'm trying so hard. It's okay. Here's the formula: dry erase pen, moist cup. I'm working on it.
Wipe it so you can put your cunt on it.
Where moistness and a cunt do not work well together.
I think I hurt my pen. It won't right. It'll get there.
Yeah,
It'll
well.
get there. Just gotta treat it nice. Gotta rub it down. oh, see, that was good.
I found some brilliant coffee mugs earlier today.
Yeah.
Why were they
Yeah.
brilliant?
Because they're horrific. They're basically like horror masks. So the idea is when you hold one up to your face to drink from it, it's like you have a lower face mask.
That is
Nice.
brilliant.
I'm trying to find the link actually. If I can find it, I'll throw it up in Twitch in a minute because they're definitely worth checking out. I sent it immediately to my wife with, if you haven't finished shopping Christmas yet.
You mean you don't want the one, so when you're finished with your coffee, there's a penis there? What?
Well, you say that, but I'm trying to avoid creating a false impression of my image because unfortunately we all have our own mugs at work and mine was broken in a tragic washing up accident the other day.
Oh,
So unfortunately, until I get a new mug for work, I am using the spare mug
Is
that
that the
nobody ever
penis?
wants to use because it was brought in for one of our staff as a joke, and in huge letters on it, it says "I love cock," which frankly doesn't bother me because as long as it's got coffee in it, I'm happy. I couldn't care less what I'm drinking out of. It's been a source of much hilarity at work over the last few days.
That's great.
You should let them watch the show so they realize how often you play with your cock on air.
Yeah,
Agreed with that.
that's funny.
there is no way I could get away with that at school.
Perhaps if you put a rooster on the other side of it to distract them.
You're at the wrong school.
And that's how I love.
Thank you, Bob. It appears you are now number one amongst the cheering.
Yeah, you are, Bob.
Ooh.
First amongst men.
Indeed.
Oh,
Hey, let's throw a link up in Twitch if anyone wants to look at them.
Very good. That's all.
so your car started today, Travis.
Well, it actually started last night, but the snowblower
Okay.
would not start today.
Oh,
Yeah, it took 10 minutes of just trying to turn it over. It wasn't the battery, it wasn't the alternator, it wasn't the starter. It must have just been cold and moist. I'm guessing the spark plugs weren't quite connecting the way they should. It might be time for a tune-up. It is at that amount of mileage.
Coffee mugs.
What's that?
Yeah, I asked if I got the same one from the guys holding the letter. I'm hoping that it will make my managerial style much more approachable.
do you need the big
Oh.
old
Guys,
cup?
oh, he's got the mug. He's got the
Oh,
Oh, I like those.
you need that big old cup or shut the fuck up. That's what you need.
I've worked with most, apart from a couple of new starters we've just taken on as sort of seasonal temps over Christmas. I've worked with most of these guys for a year now. They're well trained now. I walk through the door within 30 seconds, someone deposits coffee in front of me. Normally from
Oh.
down, waving an orange flag.
You've got them trained.
drink
Very
it?
good.
Oh, do you drink it black?
Black, no
How
sugar.
do you take your coffee?
Black, no sugar, preferably from a bucket.
A butt what?
From a butt plug? What?
I said I like it from a black bucket, Travis. That's what I love about Bob.
Oh, what about Ed? I like it I like my bed white. No, you can say black or white. Rich
Oh,
and
the
white.
colours
Just
are
in a bucket. You like it like your men in a bucket. No, don't shit in a bucket. Don't shit in a bucket and return it to the store.
I remember that story.
I heard the sound of lube being applied.
Okay, so did everyone see the new Avengers trailer?
Yes.
I did.
Watched it today.
And Chris, we also watched a trailer.
Tweeted asking people to stop contacting them about rescuing Mr. Stark.
Wait a minute. Say that again, please.
Favorite.
Repeat that. I didn't hear you.
Apparently NASA tweeted out that they are asking people to stop contacting them about rescuing Mr. Stark.
Yeah, NASA is way too insufficient to ever do any such thing. Hell, it's a challenge to make it to the moon, let alone Mars or beyond.
Hey, they just landed Mars. Come on now.
Yeah, they did. For the third time, was it?
Yeah, they just couldn't get the snowblower to start.
Can they
It's like
hear
that meme
them?
that points out that thanks to the Curiosity rover, Mars is now the only planet in our solar system populated entirely by robots.
Uh,
As far as we know.
Which are illegal aliens. Ba-dum-bum.
Oh, we watched that trailer.
But do you know what? There's something that had never occurred to me as well, because obviously since it landed, I've seen pictures of Curiosity on Mars. Most people have, I think. It was only the other day for the first time that I saw a picture of it in a lab somewhere while they were still working on it before it was sent to Mars. That thing is fucking huge.
yeah.
And your brain just assumes it's like the size of a small buggy or something, but it's like the size of a massive estate wagon. Yay!
I've always imagined it the size of a dune buggy from the 70s.
It's,
Me too.
I don't know
Me
how
too.
tall the picture was, but I'm guessing it's probably 8 foot tall, or getting on that way.
Yeah.
Maybe
and
she's
it's
3
like
foot.
5 or 6 feet
Hmm.
around when all of the solar panels and arrays are out.
And Chris, we did watch a trailer for that series on Amazon. What?
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 I said bling bling. Solar panels.
There's a really great 3D photo that Curiosity took from the top of one of its little things, and you can see the landscape 360 degrees around. It's really cool looking.
Awesome.
And the new one, because they actually have, I forget, the certain recorders on it, they've actually recorded the Martian wind blowing over a section of the rover, essentially. And it sounds weird because it's pitched so low, but it does sound pretty cool. And it's
Oh yeah, I didn't listen to it, but I think I saw I'm sure I saw a post somewhere online about that the other day. Yeah, the first sounds from us.
Yeah, I listened to it. It's pretty cool. I
Oh,
mean, it
yeah,
just
yeah.
sounds like wind blowing, really low wind, but it's still
Did
pretty
you post a link? Did you post a link to these?
if I can find it.
That'd be sweet. For our viewing audience.
On it.
Tick, 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 tick. It's like mice tap dancing, 8 o'clock dancing.
I've got it. And
So do
going
I.
into it now. There you go. Did they see any black Martians? Bob wants to know. We're
Well,
not sure.
Gray-
Bob. We've seen lots of
Gray-
Martians, but so far most of them only appear to be 0.6% black.
Yeah, but gray is a blend of black and white. So.
If you watch Supergirl, you can see one.
Jimmy Olsen is an alien?
No.
There's more than one black guy on there.
They have 2 black guys. It's the other one.
Pretty much the only other thing I did this week, apart from, was watch loads of movies.
Ooh.
Nice.
Yes, because I've got a brand new. I'm excited. I've got a brand new telly. It's glorious.
What was your favorite?
What that I've watched so far. Oh, what was it I watched the other night that really caught me by surprise? I rewatched something that I'd seen, but this is the first time I'd watched that movie on an HD TV,
Oh.
and the difference was startling. You know, so I mean, I've watched a few movies so far where there's been moments of wow, that looks really nice.
Was it Avatar?
This one.
Was
No,
it
it wasn't Avatar. No, nothing that obvious. I can't think what it was.
Aliens?
Think back to
Lady Chatterley's lover.
Porn.
Just boring.
I binge watched all of the first season of the Marvelous Mrs. Maisel.
Ah!
I have
Yeah,
mentioned
yes,
that
yes.
3 times and you have not heard me any time.
We
Really?
Yeah, I'm wondering if you have your Discord settings where when you're speaking, you can't hear anybody else. It blanks them out.
What?
Maybe.
Don't fuck with me today. It's been a hell of a 3 days.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
I
watched the
appreciate
trailer.
all of it.
I had cat claws in my fucking balls last night.
Yeah, that's how he got hurt.
I have bloody streaks down my testicles
Well,
thanks to
take it
cats.
easy on you.
Oh, Jamin sent me something. Hold on. And hello, Jamin. We're good. We're happy to see you here and talk at the tavern again. It's been a few
Okay.
weeks. Oh, he's got
People
an.
pay for that, Travis.
Yeah, I do not. The cats pay for that. Oh, there's the trailer for Avengers 4.
Beer around. It's just awful.
Here, guys, I'll show this to the viewing audience. There's the trailer for Avengers 4, in case you haven't seen it yet. Now I'll show it to
Ant-Man.
you guys, too.
Ant-Man.
There's the trailer for Avengers 4.
Nice.
Thank you, Jamin, for sharing that. Appreciate it.
That's funny.
It's nice that I can share it with everybody here today.
I have been reading screenplays like crazy, and I just read today. I read Trumbo, and it was about the McCarthy hearings, or just before the McCarthy hearings in Hollywood.
What's the name of it?
And it was a good read. It went really quick, very fast. It was, when you know a little bit of history and then you read the screenplay on it, it is definitely slanted, but it's worth it. I think it's okay. I read Hidden Figures. It was fun. It's really fun, and I tell this to the viewing audience. I've said this before. Screenplays are online. They're free. It costs you nothing. To read a movie is an incredible experience, and then to watch it, because what your mind will come up with and what they eventually come up with. Sometimes they meet, sometimes they don't meet. Then you get to experience this thing a couple times. And you also get a chance to really focus on dialogue. So,
Hidden Figures.
I haven't read yet, the Stephen Moffat's Sherlock episode, I'd love to read just because the dialogue is just like, so quick. So, there you go.
I love that shit.
Oh, yeah, so yummy.
Hidden Figures is really good. That's local. That's local history.
Yeah, that is.
Did you know that?
That's Hampton.
Yeah.
It's Hampton.
I used to, they have an exhibit and everything about it, which is really cool.
It's I live by Langley. It's over here.
Yeah.
It's a NASA. My neighbor works there. It's fun. It's beautiful. I did have a comment though. I was at a producer meeting in New York, and all these people in the audience, and the producer from that film was there, and she was quite lovely and very open. But she made this comment about one of the initial scenes when you first meet the three women. And Kevin, I don't know if you know this film.
Don't think so.
Okay, there are three women. It takes place when there was that race to get to space between Russia and America, and in Langley, they had the computers, which were actually people who would crunch numbers before an actual computer came in. And this one section it was all black women crunching numbers. And the three main characters are black, and we meet them, and one of their cars is broken down, but one of them can fix it because she's mechanical, the other two are engaged. Anyway, a police officer drives up. This is in Virginia, and at first just a little slightly confrontational, just wondering what's going on, asks for their ID, and then ends up giving them an escort to Langley, the air base where they were working. And this producer says, in her very, I'm not sure, I found it ignorant, closed-minded way, oh, can you imagine a white police officer helping out black people in the South? This scene is so unbelievable, blah, blah. And I wanted to, and I didn't because I was a guest of someone else, but I wanted to stand and make a comment that comment she just made is what you're accusing others of being. That is a racist comment that everyone in the South believed everything, And I did, and I just let it go, and I sat there, but, writing, it brings the best and worst out of us.
I had to chuck someone out the other night for being racist.
To whom were they racist?
One of my staff.
Really? Why?
Yeah, that was what did it. She was being a bit of a dick anyway. I don't think she was there. She seemed to be half a sandwich short of a picnic anyway, but she was being a little bit annoying, but I was giving her the benefit of the doubt. But there aren't many things in a work environment that will rile my temper. You don't fuck with staff. And certainly
Don't
not.
fuck with the staff.
No, I've got their back. They've got mine. Anything I ask them to do, they'll do. So it's only fair that if they're in a situation where they need someone, I back them to the hill. So I always do it.
And
At the end of the
so,
day, and this is probably not great business acumen, but my attitude has always been they're just one customer. There's more of them around the corner. I've only got that one member of staff that does that job well. I can afford to lose a customer a lot when I can a loyal and trained staff.
yeah.
So yeah,
And
she was
sometimes
asked,
you just gotta-
she was asked in a very polite manner to vacate premises.
Good. Remove the turd from the punch bowl. Get them.
Or the
Share
pool.
die. Good. You know what? That
Bob will be with you on this. Just a black man, I'm sure he's sucked racism plenty of times.
who hasn't? Really? I got a master. One of the schools that I went to was an all-black university. I got a master from my middle school, and boy, I was treated very good.
The original smoke.
Yeah, but I'm crazy, so no one fucks with me. I'd walk around with a big old cowboy hat on, man. It's good.
Okay,
I'm a white girl.
if I may.
Hello?
Yes, if I may. Thank you. We're going to get to This Week in History real quick, but I do want to let everybody know, if you see me posting that Twitch link in there for the Travis I. Sivart, that is the other channel for my geek interest for during the week. So if you're interested in hanging out, very chill, very relaxed, usually just me, or me and Andrea. Sometimes Chris on World of Warcraft. Follow that, join us there. It's a separate thing. So we have the Talk of the Tavern people here and the other ones there. Now, This Week in History, let's do some opening music.
So I can follow you and throw you my bit. Huh?
You can. It's either place. Doesn't matter. Okay, for This Week in History, we're going to do something a little bit different. I've found a couple news articles of interest this past week, and we're going to discuss them. Andrea, did you want to talk about this one, and should I post the link for everybody?
Yeah, post a link.
Now, this is Fox News, and I'm going to let Andrea kind of take over on this one and chit-chat about this, because she read it,
When you're done, if you can pull it
and
back up. so
I
can read
nodded.
Okay, I like to read the Google News stuff, you know, when I'm waiting for my coffee. And this one, the headline is, "Man coughs up part of his lung while being treated for heart failure."
I saw this.
Yeah, apparently this guy was coughing so much that he coughed up a piece of his lung. He was having heart issues and he was in the hospital, but he kept coughing. He's dead. He's dead now. Where?
No, he is. He died.
Yes,
Yeah.
he's dead, but unrelated to the coughing.
Unrelated to that.
Lung.
Yeah, because he had heart issues. Sorry. It's an intact cast of the right bronchial tree.
Brockfield.
Yeah.
He was brought in for chronic heart failure. This caused the coughing, and he coughed up a cast of his right bronchial tree, which I'm curious why they put that in, and I'm scanning further.
Well, if you see the picture, that's pretty much what it is.
Right.
It's just, oh my,
Wow.
yeah, crazy, right?
So yeah, he had been coughing up phlegm and blood for a while. I'm trying to
Oh.
picture a size of that cast. A cast as in like when you pour liquid, whatever, into something to create a mold. It's the interior mold, which then you break the exterior mold, and you have a cast of this.
It's not very big, because if you think of your bronchial tubes,
Well, I don't know how big those are because I haven't
a
seen
little
them.
bit bigger than
I would
veins.
dare say to the person who ended up coughing up a piece of their own limb that felt large enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, see the ruler. I can't really read
Okay,
it from
so
here.
it's 6 inches across and probably at least 8 inches long. And even if that is a
Never heard that
soft,
before.
flexible material, oh my fucking god.
Talk about coughing up a lung.
I'm sure that's what the doctor said. Like, oh my god.
You know, this is going to be slightly worried because in Britain we have a phrase to use when we have a really bad cough, amongst those of us who have a very poor common term of phrase, which is I'm coughing my ring up, which now makes me worried that might actually physically be possible.
A lot of times the coughing fits is a sign of heart problems and failure.
And yet, ironically, they say, don't you, if you're on your own and you have a heart attack, the first thing you should do is cough and keep coughing for as long as you can.
Really?
But
because the action of
compresses your
coughing causes compressions in the chest, which causes.
although perhaps when you cough up part of your lung, you should stop.
Probably stop at that point. Yeah.
Nobody told him that.
Yeah, they did not clarify. And hello, Dropsum. Good to see you. Happy to have you along. And there is another channel which you may want to follow at this point in time. You'll see the link in the chat throughout the evening. Are we done with coughing up lungs? Should we move to the next thing that will let you guys?
Yeah, I don't like to spend more than 2 or 3 minutes on coughing up the lung.
Okay,
I'm good.
we all know who Kevin Hart is, right?
Yes.
So here's another case of. Let me read the article. I'll let you guys tell me what it's a case of. So Kevin Hart says he won't host the Oscars after a furor of over homophobic tweets. So back between 2009 and 2011, Kevin Hart tweeted some stuff with derogatory language referring to gay people, and he made disparaging comments about sexuality 10 years ago. Including one that says, yo, if my son comes home and tries to play with my daughter's dollhouse, I'm going to break it over his head and say in my voice, stop, that's gay. Now, this is from 2011. It's 7 years ago. He made this comment, and basically somebody dug it up, and it was already deleted also, but somebody found it, dug it up once they found out he was hosting the Oscars, put it out there, and the Oscars went, well, you know, you need to go issue an apology now. Now, paraphrasing what he said, he's like, I'm stepping down because I've already dealt with this before, I've handled this, I've addressed this, I'm not doing it again, and I tell you what, instead of all this shit, I'm just not going to host the Oscars. Opportunity of a lifetime for a comedian like me, but screw this shit, I'm going home. Again, paraphrasing, not his words. He did say it very nicely in a tweet. I've made a choice to step down from hosting this year's Oscars. This is because I do not want to be a distraction on the night that should be celebrated by so many amazing, talented artists. I sincerely apologize to LGBTQ community for my insensitive words from my past. I'm sorry that I hurt people. I'm evolving and continue to do so. My goal is to bring people together, not tear us apart. Much love and appreciation to the Academy. I hope we can meet again. That's what he put up
What does he think he is? A comedian? Come on.
You know, but he, in an Instagram post, Hart said the Academy asked him to apologize or they'd find another host. Hart said he chose not to issue the apology and stepped down instead, saying he did not want to contribute to feeding the internet trolls. Though that other tweet sounded like...
Good for him.
1 second, Elizabeth, I will definitely get to you. I just want to go ahead and finish this little bit more. There was somebody, Chad Griffin, the head of an LGBT civil rights advocacy group called the Human Rights Campaign, responded to Hart on Twitter saying, you have a rare opportunity to take responsibility, teach people in this moment, and send a message to LGBTQ youth that they matter and deserve dignity and respect. You say you've grown? Show us. Make amends for the hurtful things you've said and affirm LGBTQ people. Okay, Elizabeth, what do you have?
Well, let me just... I think this is a perfect opportunity for Talk of the Tavern to write the Academy and offer us as hosts for the show.
Have you seen our show?
We must do this. Because no one will do it. Actors, comedians, no one wants to do it. No, they're having so
Oh,
much
hell yeah,
trouble.
I'm up for that. I'll do it.
I think we go fly us out.
And the winner of best screenplay is some cunt. Up next, best actor. Let's see which cunts are up for this.
I'm gonna do it. If you don't do it, I will write that letter. Let's see.
I give you full permission.
We end up on air.
I give you full permission to write it on behalf of Talk of the Tavern, because I think you'll
I'm ready.
use the correct terminology better than I will, especially
I have
today.
a dress for this.
You have a dress. What dress?
I have a fancy dress I'll wear. Okay, I'm in.
Okay,
I'm
so
in.
does anybody have thoughts about...
Fancy dress as well.
Now, a few comments here. Bob commented on the previous thing. Toei says, good for him. I'd go so off script if I was hosting the Oscars. And Toei, good to see you. Congratulations on the changes to your Twitch channel. Not sure what quite going on. I just know suddenly on your Discord channel there was a lot of changes. A lot of things I couldn't see anymore. But I assume you're moving forward and advancing things with Jared. So good for you. Here's to you.
Here.
As for Kevin Hart, what's that?
I said, Toei, whoop, whoop.
As for Kevin Hart, it already sounds like he fucking apologized in that tweet.
Well, here's the thing.
I wonder how
was-
much of this is about the fact that he didn't want to issue an apology, and how much of it was that he was pissed off at the Academy for asking him to do it, or he couldn't host it.
Well, it does say in the article later that he's addressed this previously.
Here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
This was not an issue when they asked him. Someone had to dig it up.
Right.
And so, why are people stirring the pot?
Yeah, that's what that other tweet seems to me is whoever that person was of that group was like, oh, well, let's try and get him to do more, where he's already addressed it the first time that he had to apologize it way back when.
Right.
And then in that second tweet, he apologized essentially again without actually apologizing.
And he hasn't
So,
really...
It's just them, the head of that group, being like, give us more. You should feel bad about yourself. We want more.
Chris, to clarify, in that tweet that I read first, it says, I sincerely apologize to the LGBTQ community for my insensitive words of the past. I'm sorry that I hurt people.
Well, here's the thing.
Right.
Yes?
He hasn't done anything since. He hasn't been in the media, being like that. So,
This whole
Nope.
thing, and it happens.
Or has he?
It only ever happens on social media, and it pisses me right off that every little thing you've ever done in your life seems to be held up for examination under the spotlight, as though it's an accurate reflection of who you are in the moment now.
Right.
I've done some fucking horrendous things in my past when I was younger, but you can't judge the person I am today on the person I was 10 years ago.
We, on this show itself, have all said horrible things in jest and humor, and had people...
That's quite deliberate, trust me.
they
Right.
took it the wrong way.
Well, we've had people laugh along with us. I remember when we had Daphne Dwell on, and she, as a middle-aged Jewish woman, would make a Jewish joke. Which, of course, it's that much more stunning when it's made by somebody of that group. Just like Ed when he makes black jokes. Just like Kevin when he makes French jokes because he's secretly French, just in the closet about it. Nobody told. By the way, I want to address one more thing on this article. The article then went and dug further, saying this is not the only time Hart has addressed controversy over social media. Last year, he came forward to admit he had cheated on his pregnant wife, Aniko Parrish, ahead of an extortion plot. Months later, the LA District Attorney Office charged his former friend with using video evidence of Hart's affair in an attempt to extort him.
That's fucked up.
Kevin was quoted as saying, I'm not going to allow a person to have financial gain off my mistakes in this particular situation. That was what was attempted. I'd rather fess up to my mistakes. They close the article with Hart's movies include Night School, Jumanji, Welcome to the Jungle, and Ride Along.
Okay.
No. Yes, Elizabeth. You're muted.
You're muted.
Andrea,
Ha
there you go.
ha.
Doesn't need this time.
It was me. Okay. For people who write demanding an apology, suck it. You know what? Life is really hard, and someone says things. We often speak, and our mind is trying to catch up. Whatever. Get over yourself.
I'm sorry
not
you're
that
offended.
important. What really matters in life is what you make yourself into.
Right.
People are going to throw sticks and stones and hurl words at you, and your ability to overcome that, to grow stronger for it, is what is important here. These celebrities will do anything to get attention. It helps keep the notoriety popular, and their agents encourage them to do it, and it's all false. All this internet stuff is fake. It's all scripted and planned.
You mean everything on the
Be
internet's not
strong.
true?
Be compassionate. Someone says something you don't like, move on. That's it. That's life.
Now,
Welcome aboard.
a few comments from the Tavernites here. Dropsome says, that's because they're snowflakes, and that's why people want to start shit for no reason. Win, Talking Toei says, it's never enough of an apology for the ever-wounded wimps. And Skipper says, I've worked with Kevin Hart 6 to 7 years ago, and it's obvious that he's dealing with some issues more than just alcohol. He was a likable guy and mentioned that he had grown as a person over the last several years and felt bad about things he had said and done in the past, but now had to work on his current problems. This kicks back to what I've said before. We say horrible things here on the show if taken out of context. If taken in context, and by the way, if I ever have a political career, just immediately go back on my Twitter 10 years ago, and you are going to find some shit that will get me raked over the coals. Absolutely. Now, there might not be a single gay joke or black joke or Jewish joke, but there is some shit there, I guarantee it, that somebody can just fucking piss themselves and cry all night about.
Oh, of course.
They can have a field day with the stuff I posted on Facebook in the last week, 10 years ago.
Oh, by the way, Andrea...
What is sorry, go ahead.
No, go on,
Excuse me.
Elizabeth.
I was going to say, and what does an apology on Twitter mean? It's meaningless. It's like
As
throwing
much as the
Kleenex at
comment,
their head.
it means as much as the fucking comment that upset him in the first place.
Yes.
It's not
It's
sincere if
nothing.
someone's like, you have to apologize, and you make them.
Yeah, we learned this as parents when we were instructing our children. It
Say
doesn't
you're
mean
sorry.
something if you don't say it after we. If you say it after we
Sure.
tell you, you have to. Prompted
And
apology.
don't allow it to have weight. Move away from it.
I'm curious as well, the guy who's there demanding that he do more for the LGBTQ community. I wonder how eager he would be if someone dug into his past, found the most heinous thing he'd ever done, publicised it everywhere to his local community, and then demanded he go out and make an apology for it. Wonder how eager he'd be to do it in that circumstance.
Yeah, well,
You
especially.
have to deal with this shit, but someone dragging it up and raking it all out in the open again, making you go up over it again and again and again. How does that solve anything?
It'd be even.
How about excuse me, go ahead.
After you.
No, after you gave me the last one.
Okay. This is tongue-in-cheek here, but it'd probably be against something like McDonald's or a large corporation, and then you'd have to make him apologize for saying hateful things about this corporation that's just trying to serve the public, and he'd be like, well, that's not a real person. Well, it's run by people, and you were horrible to them. I can just imagine. Yes,
And to
Elizabeth.
extend on that, how about instead of demanding an apology, how about showing compassion and explaining your position and saying, we support you no matter what, but we stand by, our people, or no, it always has to be me, gimme. It's always a power play,
It
when
is.
When I've encountered all sorts in my teachings, especially at Oliver, and kids and teachers and parents especially are the most thankful when you give people a break. Because we really fuck up all the time. We all do.
Okay.
Have you ever gone a day without making a mistake?
Nope, not today.
I'm going to take the spotlight for a quick second. John, thanks for jumping in, bud. Jamin, Dropsome, John, Win, etc. I have just posted a link for my other Twitch channel because I am now separating me sitting there playing games and chit-chatting idly versus the group talk of the tavern thing. So if you care to follow that, there it is. If you don't, I hate you anyway. and I'm going to cry myself to sleep.
Excuse me, you need to apologize.
I do want to point out only 3 people have followed it so far. That's Chris, Kevin, and me. So thanks for soothing my poor broken ego, gentlemen. And anybody else, yeah, there it is if you want. If you don't want, well, that's fine
I'm not
too.
on anything.
I can't. I'm on the phone.
It's fine, Elizabeth. You've got like 14 accounts anyway.
Just
You
tell
never
me
know
what to
which one you
do.
log into. There's been one time Elizabeth is chatting with me on screen with one account and then throws bits with her other account. I'm like, I don't even know if she knows how she did that. John then replies with, wah. You're right, John.
I have deleted all those accounts. I don't know how it's happening.
It's, I don't know. Okay.
Keep them guessing. Keep them guessing.
We got more on Kevin Hart, or should I go to the next article, which is holiday themed?
Ooh. Holiday.
We're ready for the next one. Thank you, Toey. Appreciate that win.
That's Kevin's masturbation song. Celebrate. Oh wait, that's mine.
So confusing.
Okay. It's, I don't know what to tell people. It's Oh, thank you everybody for who has followed, and I appreciate it. Drop some also from you, sir, because that's the one we'll be hanging out on most of the time at this point, keeping us separate. It's I'll get the emails soon. Okay, so let's see here. Okay, here's an article, and I think I just posted a link. Yep, if anybody wants to read along with us. So the Illinois Capitol is ringing in the holidays. This is the headline. The Illinois Capitol is ringing in the holidays with a satanic statue.
Can we have one?
Now, let me read this before we get to comment. First, I'll start it with the obvious. This statue is, I think it's, the article will clarify, 18 inches by 18 inches square, about 3 feet tall. It's one thing that says, knowledge is the greatest gift, has a hand coming up with a serpent around it, and an apple on the hand. Now, I'll address the article.
I'm offended.
And Elizabeth, I am very confident you're going to have some thoughts on this. Well, I just say that because I know you being of a Christian faith may have an opinion. You being a strong woman definitely have a fucking opinion. Okay, so the Satanic Temple in Chicago has been granted permission to place their statue in the lobby of the state capitol in Springfield, Illinois. The spokesman for the Secretary of State office told CNN. This is a CNN article. The statue is approximately 4.5 feet tall, about 18 inches long. I guess that's square. It depicts a snake wrapped around an arm holding an apple with the inscription, knowledge is the greatest gift, and it has the Satanic Church symbol. It's been on display since Monday of last week and will remain through the end of the month. Quote from Drucker, Dave Drucker, who is the spokesman. We feel it's a First Amendment issue. We have other displays there, a Hanukkah menorah and a nativity scene. If you have displays of one type, you need to be consistent and allow everyone to do so, aside from hate speeches and other unacceptable things. The Satanic Temple, this is no longer a quote, Satanic Temple says that its members are atheists who are often interested in community activism. That's according to the group website. Quote, we do not promote belief in personal Satan, the website says. To embrace the name of Satan is to embrace rational inquiry removed from supernaturalism and archaic tradition-based superstitions. The group says it embraces the struggle for justice and believes people should strive to act with compassion and empathy towards all creatures. Local reaction has run a gambit, from supportive to outraged. One Illinois resident, Wayne Rovey, says, I don't see a problem with it. Seems like it's part of freedom of speech. Doesn't project a bad message. Shelley Berg said told the station she found the display unsuitable. I think it's inappropriate because it's not something that should be displayed for a lot of people to be offended by. I would be offended by that myself.
Who cares?
I'm
Okay.
offended by apples.
Okay, guys, go. Fucking apples and other computer products.
I want to hear Isaiah go on about apples.
An apple a day doesn't keep the doctor away. I'm offended.
does if you wrap a snake around it.
So, apples, testicle, snake, penis? Am I getting this right?
No. No, I meant literally wrap a snake around it, but whatever works, whatever floats your boat. But that would be quite effective as well. So,
I guess.
don't make bobbing for apples more interesting.
Bobbing for apples. I guess as an American, I would say, okay, freedom of speech, whatever. Okay, well done. As a Catholic, I'd have to say it's just somewhat offensive on the birth of our Lord to have like the fallen angel represented and evil around. I don't think it's celebratory. I think it's like throwing fuel on a fire. I think they did it just to get people worked up. And then Fort Town did it just so they wouldn't get sued by the ACL. Whatever.
Real quick,
You know.
totally interrupting. Gary, buddy, how are you? Thanks for popping in, man. Okay, so going on now, I directly want to discuss some of the things you brought up, but it doesn't actually relate to the article itself. But I want to give Chris and Andrea and Kevin more chances to say stuff.
Chris laid back really far. He must be very deep in thought. Or he's ignoring us.
No, it was just uncomfortable the way I was sitting, so now I have leaned back in my chair.
Here, I'll lean forward so you can see me.
Oh my god!
I think we can rub noses now.
Oh, and Gary, thanks for the 2-month subscription, buddy. That's what I meant to open with. But okay, so Chris, what's your thoughts on what do you? Is that a Twizzler?
No, it's the straw.
Oh.
That's disappointing.
We watched Happy Time Murders
I'm
last
offended.
night, by the way.
Oh my god.
And there is a Twizzler used to snort things. I just want to put that out there and then go on with the topic.
I do need to see it.
It's really horrible. I liked it.
Chris, what do you think, Chris?
I mean, I don't on a personal level, I don't care. It doesn't offend me at all. And the little bit that I do know about the Satanists is, yes, they tend to be more
Let me go check it.
community-oriented and outspoken, being atheists who just have taken that name to annoy the overly hardcore Republican Christians who are like, you have to do this because God said so. And then it's like, well, yes, so we will help these homeless people do all of these things, and yet you don't want to. Shame on you for being a Christian. We're Satanists. Like, their big thing is being all about being contrary for being contrary. So, sure. Why not?
Okay.
I'd be intrigued to know. So presumably, if they've got a nativity, Hanukkah, and now Satanism, are they also representing every other religion on Earth?
Probably not.
I was
Invite
wondering.
the local Muslim community to erect a display.
I mean, I would assume that if one of them came up to them and said, hey, we want a display, they obviously would.
I think this would be the greatest thing ever. I think local groups should totally do this to them now. Everybody with a vaguely religious connotation to their organisation should demand they also be given a display.
Right, yeah, no, I want to see a statue of the flying spaghetti monster.
I was just thinking that.
Pickle Man!
And, what about Kwanzaa?
What about Kwanzaa?
I mean, do they have a Kanara up there?
Kwanzaa. It's like they started a game of who can piss each other off more, and it's just there's no end. There's no end.
Well, it's like that guy who bought the house across from Westboro Baptist Church to make it as gay as possible, just to be annoying to them. Like this is exactly what the Satanists want.
They're just starting stuff for
They just
attention.
want to be contrary.
Well, I wouldn't say that all Satanists just want that.
No, just
No,
those.
you're right.
Yeah.
The ones there.
Because, you know, there's the Necronomicon acknowledges Catholicism and the Greek Orthodox Church as the two few churches that are direct enemies and hold power against their evil ways. So, yeah. But I would agree with you
This
that
iteration of Satanism in the Midwest.
well, if they made good beer, maybe we'd consider it. And that's why I'll never get into office. That comment right there.
I'm offended.
Where did Travis go?
They should all become sculptors. They say the devil makes work for idle hands.
He went to check on something
Every
because
week, try the fish.
Why can't they just make cookies and hand out cookies? Everyone can get a cookie.
just not Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. No, Travis left because there was a loud thud, something fell, and he went to check. One of the cats knocked something over.
Cats are attacking the
She
beer.
okay?
Now that he's distracted, the beer's there.
Okay.
She's not dead, is she?
No, she is not dead.
Okay.
She's okay, but watch her back left leg. She seems to be fine. She's walking on it, but when she jumped down, she stretched it out behind her. I don't know if she's stretching or if she's hurt. But
She's old and she's gonna die soon.
yes.
Poor grandma.
But, well, she's the queen mother. We have the princess and we have the queen, and she is the queen mother.
My old raggedy cat.
A couple of comments from everybody here.
All that money they spent on that sculpture, and they did something really cool, like, oh, I don't know, a Christmas ride. People come in and go and tunnel with Satan or whatever.
That would be cool. What?
Throw dishes at the angry demon. Merry Christmas. Okay.
A couple of comments from the crowd. Have you guys read them already?
No.
Okay.
No.
So, Jamin says an apple a day will keep anyone away if you throw it hard enough. Toei makes 2 points saying flash mob for point and laugh selfies might be appropriate, as well as Elizabeth squirms a lot on camera.
Who said that?
Toei. That's the second point. And then
She's
Bob
gotta pee.
Yeah.
Bob
I gotta
says,
get my pants off.
well, we all have to do that, Elizabeth. We all have to get your pants off. Bob says, speaking of wanting to get your pants off, Bob says, Kwanzaa, my holiday.
It was started in the 70s by a professor, and
Of course.
I find it, I think it's got some good values because it promotes family, and you make the gifts, and the gifts you give are books, and so the family reads it together. I like that part of it. That's the part I would always celebrate, because I have a menorah, I have a Kinara, I have a Christmas tree, I have all that.
Can we get the Sam Jackson book he read on the
Yeah.
video? Go to fuck to sleep.
Yeah. Can he read it to me?
I can read it to you in a Russian accent.
No, I want you to have Sam Jackson come and read the story to me.
Yeah,
And tuck me in.
I think it'd be great just to post Sam Jackson is in my bedroom right now.
Hell yeah.
Be even better if I can get a selfie with him sitting next to Andrea on the bed. No book in view, please, just so it can go either way.
All the cats gathered round.
Imagine? Oh my god, that would be phenomenal.
I know.
We have a king-size bed. What I can imagine is...
I want this motherfucking children to go to motherfucking
Well-
bed.
Elizabeth, do you know what we're talking about? Have you seen this story?
No.
It's on YouTube.
I think I've heard of it. Probably through you guys.
It's
Yeah.
called Go the Fuck to Sleep.
Yeah. And it's read by Sam Jackson, and but what I love a selfie of me in the bottom corner, then Sam Jackson behind me with Andrea tucked in with the blankets pulled up, and Elizabeth next to Andrea with the blankets pulled up, and Ed next to him, the blankets pulled up, and then there's Kevin, and have like 8 people in the fucking king-size bed, and Sam Jackson sitting beside it with the book.
That would be fabulous.
Fuck.
For
Maybe we could do that after the academy.
That's right. We could be...
Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Chris. You know what? Put it in the Discord also. Elizabeth will watch it from Discord.
Yeah. I put it in both.
Thank you, sir.
It's the greatest thing in
By the
world.
way, for everybody else that has popped in and not said hello, feel free to do so, or just stay and shut the fuck up. Well,
And if you can't comment, follow the channel.
it tells you that when you try to. It's like, you must follow the channel. So I figure they have
People
to be...
don't read that shit.
Yeah, well, they can choose to be a fucking idiot.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Go fuck to sleep.
That's right. Do you need another Yoo-hoo?
Fuck.
I do.
Do you want me to
Like
get
you,
you
we love
another?
you, but get the fuck out.
Okay.
What else?
What else? What? By the way, you realize that the Christian holiday is based after pagan beliefs, right?
Of course.
Okay,
Everything
okay.
gets to the
And
next
that's
day.
actually-
You came first.
That's actually the point of... Oh, by the way, I do believe it's absolutely a political move. Has nothing to do with the holidays or religion. It's just a group getting attention. I'm not offended by it, but I see their motivation behind it is not to celebrate the holiday.
I don't care.
It's to get attention.
I don't get any candy or anything from it, so I don't give a fuck.
Once again,
Wait.
Once again, you can get a lot of attention. What's that guy who runs around and he gives free hugs on his YouTube channel? You know, you get a lot of attention by making people feel better, doing something really cool or witty or even funny.
I'm just
Pretty and witty and gay.
addressing what Andrea just said. Does the Satanic Church give candy? Because that might be a consideration if they give
Candy
candy.
and gifts like Santa, then I'm in.
They make a beer. I'd be willing to have a talk.
Wait, they make a beer?
She said if they make a beer, she'd be willing to have a talk.
Have a sour.
See what I mean? I knew that shit. See, Jesus made water into wine. That was not a mistake. He knew his target audience. Okay. Sushi and bread for everyone.
By sheer coincidence, with absolutely no relevance to the story whatsoever, one of the guitarists is named after the woman he used to date, the guy who founded the Church of Satan.
Anton LaVey.
Yeah. Yeah, well, my Les Paul Gold Top is called Jane, after Jane Mansfield. She's a top-heavy blonde.
I wonder what...
Top heavy mean big boob.
Yes.
Yeah.
Alright.
You're so cute.
It just... I wonder what an opening date with the founder of the Satanic Church would be like.
Blood.
I bet you he'd...
Unusual if you went to his house, because he was quite an eccentric. He used to have live lions roaming the grounds to his house.
It's better than having dead lions roam your grounds.
Yeah, well, this is true, yeah. They're
By the way, Bob says they make great sour Catholic, too. I think that's clever. Well done, Bob. It's...
Alimony beer, the bitterest beer in America. That's true. That's a real beer.
Last night was the last night of Hanukkah.
But we digress again.
It's we're
I'm telling
aiming...
you, Academy Awards would be amazing. You just
It'd be the longest Academy Awards ever, but the most entertaining. Local newscasters found out the Academy Awards enters day 3.
It would be commercial breaks. But by now, you should be on your third drink.
What, Chris?
So the unions would break that up.
That's right.
That's true. We're non-union. We may have to join the union, but they'll pay. So.
We'd have to keep on quoting Kevin Hart throughout.
Do we get to wear a union suit?
That's right.
Because I'm okay with
Costume
that.
change every commercial break.
Okay.
You ever seen Brain Donors? There's a character on there that like wears his whole wardrobe, and for costume changes, he just peels the top layer off and has a
I can
different
do that.
outfit under it. We just do that. We'll come out looking like fucking huge, bloated things, and by the end of the thing, we'll be...
Can I come out after every costume change dressed as a different Kevin Hart movie character?
Yeah, it would
Yes.
be fabulous.
The Golden Jet.
You're like 3 times
The
his
costume
size.
off one of us, like, okay, Andrea. And now it's time to rip Andrea's clothes off to reveal
Woo!
the next layer.
That's great. Kevin, I do want to make it clear, just because your name is Kevin, and you're going to impersonate Kevin Hart, you still can't wear blackface. It's offensive. Ask Robert Downey Jr. He's terrified to do it again after Tropic Thunder. True
that
story.
was a fucking great.
It was.
It was great.
It's,
I don't think it was offensive, was
What
it?
do you mean, you people? What do you mean, you people?
oh. So,
Who died? Who burst? Who?
I don't know. I didn't look up any of that shit. That's
Okay.
Ed's domain. I wasn't going to
People.
You people? Is that what you said?
Some
You,
people.
you
Some
can't
people
say that.
got old. Some people got old.
Oh.
You could go in whiteface. Apparently, that's not bad.
You can go in whiteface because we don't give a
Clown.
damn.
And if you feel like it, you can go as a woman, but only if you feel like it.
I've got the tips for it.
And by feel like it, you mean genuinely, literally
No.
feel like a woman.
Feel like a woman.
Damn.
The song.
I feel like a woman.
Okay,
Yeah.
I
so
think it's wrong that pantyhose don't come in a plastic egg anymore.
why don't they? They were great.
I don't know.
I used to use them with my Star Wars action figures.
If I wear them, it looks like I've got a plastic egg in my pantyhose.
Well, they don't come in eggs, but they come in those.
The front. Stop putting it in the back.
They come in those little things like out of the toy machines, the gumball machines, the little round thing, not the egg. They have those at Walmart.
I came in an egg once.
Do
That's
you
how.
guys get Kinder eggs in the US?
Yeah, but they're not as
They
good.
changed them.
They're not as
Yeah,
good.
we got kid-friendly, safe Kinder eggs.
Oh, so you don't get the ones where you assemble all the little parts into a toy.
No.
Well,
Yes.
they have them. They're just like one. It's only half an egg, so
Yeah.
like one half is an empty, hollow egg, and then the other half is like the toy bit. They have to
Oh.
separate them. You can't stick it in the middle because apparently it's a choking hazard.
Well, you know
Imagine
what?
taking a Kinder Eye, right? And what was so lovely about it, that nice chocolate and white balance to it, and then fucking it up and making that liquid form and sticking it in half the egg where you can like scoop it out and it just tastes atrocious. It's horrible.
See,
Horrible.
it would thin the herd if they kept the toy in the egg.
Yes, please.
They don't do that here.
We would solve our overpopulation problem and our moron problem. Well, solve it. We would lessen it. We would lessen it.
But the problem is they didn't solve the issue. Okay, the issue was, from my understanding, children were eating the toy because they thought it was edible.
Yeah, don't eat
Which,
the toy.
For me, it just seems like Darwinism at play. But
Yes,
Yeah,
please.
exactly.
So what they did was they
That from our
rubbed
local
the
Catholic.
lovely eggshell to where you have the scooping in the half of an eggshell, and another eggshell is the toy.
So stupid.
So I'm not sure.
No, I don't know if they do this in the US as well, but do you know what else Kinder eggs were used for quite some time in Europe?
Prophylactics?
What?
You're closer than you think, actually. They were used.
Terrible.
They were used quite widely by drug smugglers because you can compress a surprisingly large amount of drugs into one of those little snap-together plastic eggs that used to come in the center of a Kinder egg.
Well,
And
you
the
know,
shape of it.
You say you can, meaning me, but what I imagine is me doing this. Oh, God. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, if you did that, just imagine how quickly you'd build
That's
the other
smart.
plastic.
That's sneaky. That's cool.
There was a guy called English Customs a few years back, and he'd had a genius idea. What he'd done is he had a roof rack in his van, and he just popped the little plastic cap off the end of one of the long runners on the side of the vehicle, and using a broom handle, he poked about 40 or 50 of these little Kinder Egg insides into the tubular steel of the roof rack, and just put the cap back on. And there's a video somewhere, I'll see if I can find it in a minute, of a customs guy with like a broom handle type thing. He puts it in one end, and there's a guy holding a sack under the other end of the tube. And as he pushes like this, it's like his roof rack is taking a shit into a bag, basically. It's just like pop, 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 pop.
How
Wow.
did they catch him? Was he sweating too much? Did
Dog,
the
I
dogs
think.
go crazy?
Yeah, dog, I think.
Dog smelled it.
The dog got high. It smelled.
So I'm looking at other news articles in case there's anything else I want to see, and one of the news articles is elderly woman chasing thief gets run over.
Oh.
Lucky.
Teacher charged after cutting student's hair. The fuck is that?
When a teacher says, I have had enough, then this happens.
Oh,
Just clarify so I can gauge the severity of that offence. Whereabouts was the hair okay?
On the head.
by the way, in the
It was
styles
singing
section.
national anthem. Okay.
Oh, go ahead. No, Elizabeth, you know about it? Go ahead.
No, read the article. Get it right, because I'll get it wrong. Then I can respond.
I wasn't pulling it up, but anyhow, there's under the style section of CNN, they have a sensitive look at America's early working girls. I don't know if the working girls are looking for sensitivity.
Just a tip.
And by
Are you
work,
talking about prostitutes?
yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so working here. Because that would have made that movie Working Girl a whole
Yeah.
It would have been called Pretty Woman.
I'm like, I need to go see that movie. Sigourney Weaver. Oh my.
Yes. Under
No,
health.
that teacher went crazy, and she showed up in her classroom. I think she was singing the national anthem or God Bless America, and was cutting this kid's hair, and then chased some kids around the room, and the whole class fled.
Okay, see, that's a different article. I don't know if the headline, teacher charge after cutting student's hair. There we go. By the way, this is apparently
Shouldn't she have
a
charged?
video. And all this says is teacher charged after cutting student's hair. A California high school teacher has lost her job and is facing multiple criminal charges after cell phone video emerged showing her forcibly cutting a student's hair while belting out an incorrect rendition of the national anthem.
Why does the kid have a cell phone in school? What the fuck?
Cell phones.
They should be learning.
They all do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but they should be learning, not videoing. I'm sorry.
No. My
In
kid
this
carries
case,
his.
I'm going to have to disagree, because this woman obviously lost her mind in
Right.
the middle of class. It could be rightly so.
Because kids
She's
are
just gonna be
assholes.
going through a rough time, but she was running around with scissors. Well, she wasn't running, but she was,
Walking
approaching
swiftly.
aggressively. When you make 15-year-olds flee, okay,
Good for you.
Yeah. Let's watch that video and learn what was done so I can make that happen too.
they need to get her and just give her a drink, let her calm down. She's obviously had enough.
Buy that woman a Kinder Egg.
That vibrates.
Somebody give her a broom.
That vibrates. There was something on Modern Family's latest episode about a vibrating.
You know the stick with the horse head that kids, the toy? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well,
Hobby horse.
Yeah, okay, hobby horse, whatever the fuck it's called. In the episode, they were pulling out stuff that the grandmother left them. It was their old toy box. Pull out this hobby horse. It's like, yeah, I used to play with that for hours and hours. I still don't know why it vibrated.
By the way, I do want to be clear here. About 3 or 4 years ago, Andrea and I in Target found a hobby horse for sale that when you press the ear, not only did it neigh, but it vibrated.
He wouldn't buy it for me. He said no.
Well, that's why they pulled the first iteration of the Harry Potter broom.
Right.
And then they put it in the adult stores.
I don't see why they don't keep it. By the way, one more article here that I'm not going to read, but I'm going to tell you about. Under the health section, the headline is 500-year-old skeleton still wearing thigh-high boots found in London River.
I saw that. I started to read the article and then I don't remember what happened and I didn't.
Oh, I smelled...
Probably work.
Bits. Hey, there's Dez popping in,
Hey,
saying hello,
Dez.
flinging his bits. And Win has come back saying, I have one in stock. Seriously, you want it? $5. Toei, you have to be so much more specific what you have in stock
Is it a
there.
vibrating hobby horse?
There's so many things we spoke about.
Vibrating Harry Potter.
And
Or vibrating Harry Potter wand?
Satanic statue with an apple? We don't know what you're talking about.
But if it vibrates, maybe.
A teacher that cuts hair? What? What are you talking about? Okay. And we head into the
You gotta
third.
watch that video on YouTube, man. She's obviously had enough. She's like,
Okay.
You gonna play music?
I'm gonna play the music here in a minute. I'm gonna pull up that video so I can watch it later.
watch it.
Oh, there's a whole article on this one. Okay. She could serve.
Okay,
Yes.
if I may, okay. Remember to go back to the conversation we had about the statue of Church of Satan. Okay.
Yes.
There's a guy who does a channel. It's called Daily Dose of Internet, and this is what I mean. He shows all sorts of videos online and that he collects. And it's about 3.5 minutes long. And every time I watch it, I feel a little more educated, and I feel pretty good about the world. And that's what we need more of. Daily Dose of Internet. Fabulous. We should have him on the show.
Okay. Well,
You're right there.
Win has clarified a pink hobby horse. I have to check if the vibration ear is working. I still have it because one of the ears doesn't work. Win, what I need to know is if the vibration ear isn't working, is it because it was used so much, and did it leave a stain?
Oh my.
Asking for a friend, just to be clear.
I'm not that friend.
The one next to you, yeah.
Oh, here's some music for the third hour. That's a great segue into the third
Look at
hour.
Sassy.
Roll call for our late night, inappropriate, slightly intoxicated, and very naughty music hour. This is where the faint of heart swoon, parents put children to bed, and things heat up and get steamy. So pour another drink and strap yourself in. It's gonna be a
Strap it
bumpy
on.
ride.
And Win was kind enough to clarify, nope, it's brand new, straight from the toy company. So apparently...
I'm glad she didn't say straight from the box.
She knows better.
They didn't
With this
come
crowd.
with a box.
I do all the time.
Oh, it's dark. All right.
Was it light
Yeah,
there
it's the
earlier?
third hour.
It's third hour.
Yay.
Does anybody need to lay down a line or something?
What?
Yeah.
No, I'm not going to make coffee, so.
Oh, look, she's so festive.
Oh.
It's so bright.
See our wreath back there?
She looks like the Santa from Happy.
Oh.
Did you hear about that series, Elizabeth? Were you?
No. No.
It's a new series I saw the preview for, and I decided to go ahead and watch a new.
It's alright.
Yeah, it's 6 episodes. It has Christopher Maloney from Law and Order,
Stabler from Law and Order.
but basically it's a ex-cop who's now a hitman, and he has a heart attack as well as being shot, and when he comes to, he can see an imaginary friend that's a blue cartoon unicorn.
How is it?
Not bad. It's based after a graphic novel, so it's dark and quirky and
I like it.
clever. But it starts out with a little girl being kidnapped, and this is her imaginary friend who went to get help. And yeah, she was
It's
kidnapped by
Netflix,
like
right?
creepy Santa Claus. Yeah, it is Netflix.
It's
called
Netflix
Happy.
called Happy.
Patton Oswalt does the voice of the unicorn. So By the way,
Yeah.
Wynn says we got a refund on it as it was defective, so it's just been sitting in our inventory. I'm going to go check it out and report back. Okay. I'm guessing she's going to be galloping all over her house for the next couple minutes. Don't forget to play with your coconuts while riding it.
I've got a lovely pair of coconuts. I've been talking with vibrating horses. You know why women like riding horses? Because they like the feel of 1,500 pounds of meat between their legs.
That dirty.
It's cowboy joke.
Yeah, it is.
For all those cowboys listening, there's a joke for you. For everyone else, fuck you. We don't know. I don't know.
I get it. That's great.
Do you got 1,500 pounds of meat?
Not as often as I'd like.
Welcome to the tavern. Yeah, well.
Welcome to Debbie.
I found out some more facts about your 500-year-old skeleton.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they unearthed it when they're do you guys know what the Tideway Tunnel is?
what the what?
The Tideway Tunnel?
No.
It's a big scheme in London at the moment, basically aimed at trying to redirect a lot of the sewage that currently flows through old Victorian era pipes in an effort to improve the water quality of the Thames by directing the flow into a new, much larger purpose-built sewage tunnel.
Okay.
So there's a lot of work going on in London at the moment with excavating under the river where the tunnel's going to go. And they unearthed the body while they're doing the excavation there. Apparently the thigh-high boots, they're like an old version of waders.
Right.
And they were found stuffed with a decomposed material that I think was probably moss that was stuffed into the boots to help keep them warm. And they suspect from the height of the waders that he was actually a mudlark who fell in and drowned.
He was a what?
Mudlark.
Mudlark. In the, I suppose, 18th and maybe early 19th century in London, there was a whole bunch of people called mudlarks who literally made their living by scavenging items of value from the mud banks in the Thames.
How crappy does your life have to be going, I'm going to turn a buck by sifting through mud till I find something worth it?
Crappy is an accurate word for London. It's
Yeah,
widely
especially the
acknowledged
Thames.
as one of the filthiest capital cities.
Mudlark, Walmart worker, come on.
Well, there's people that have the metal detectors that go out and find stuff. Kind of modern day.
As a kid, I always liked
That's a big thing
Mudlark.
here on the island.
As a kid, I always liked Mudlark. He was my favorite globetrotter.
Don't say that.
That's funny.
What is blocking your camera, Elizabeth?
I'm sorry. A friend of mine is apparently drinking a lot of beer and watching the Seahawks game and texting me into sleep. And I'm catching up with them on Fridays.
Okay, very good. Just no. I was just curious. You carry on. And so you're participating well enough. I can't bitch about
We
your
just didn't know what
distraction.
was in front of the camera, that's all.
That was my penis.
Oh,
Yeah, it was.
yeah. I noticed it's squared off on the top.
Well, I've been working it a lot lately. I'm
Been
sorry.
nipped a little bit.
Circumcision gone horribly wrong.
Just the tip.
Poor Chris.
It's my penis. I'll have any shape up.
Rhombus. What?
Octagon. Oh.
Well, I've been screwed by a pentagon once or twice, I'll tell you that.
Dodecahedron.
Clever, mathy, geometric. Well done, Kevin. And still a dick joke. We have the smartest dick jokes in town.
Welcome to the tavern.
Well, actually, we have them imported from overseas.
We're always getting ahead.
Ah,
At least after the circumcision, we have one to give away.
Yeah.
Can everybody see Zazzle sleeping over here?
She's under everything.
Here, let me do this. Make this clear.
you guys all know who Andy Serkis is, right? The guy who played Gollum.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you seen the video he's just released where he's mocking Theresa May and the whole British Brexit?
No.
No.
Do tell.
Oh, Oh, I'll go one better. It is essentially what I've just described. I don't want to spoil it by giving any content away. It's only about 3 minutes. I'll find the link and I'll throw it into
While you do that, we have a pony report in.
Yes.
Wynn says, "Pony report. I'm relieved to.
Just in. Pony report.
I'm relieved to report that my company was not selling porno ponies. The ears on our model just made musical noises, no vibrating.
Oh.
What if you insert a finger into the mouth? Will it vibrate then?"
Asking for a friend.
I would
Finger.
like to comment that I watched one of your videos, the little shorts, and I did finally come across those toys called fingerlings.
Yeah, very popular right now. And for everybody,
Do they fit on your finger?
Yeah.
well, or your penis, I would think.
Well,
I'm
not yours.
guessing-
For children, come on now.
Well-
There was a thing in Britain a few years ago. It wasn't a British toy. I think it was somewhere in Europe, but it was essentially like a little plastic tube that went over your finger, and you attached an elastic band to it. And it was like an easier way of doing the thing you do as kids, where you just ping elastic bands to each other. This one, there was like a little hook on the top, and you loaded it up, and then you literally went like that with your thumb to release it.
Oh,
But
yeah.
the most amazing thing was that they called the toy the finger blaster.
Did they sell it at Poundland? Pound Town?
I can only imagine the name led to greatly increased revenue once it reached the British market.
That's great.
If only for as joke presents.
This is the stuff I take videos of. Elizabeth, by the way, if you think for a second that there's not going to be some young boy that goes, "This thing fits on my finger. Look, I'm just starting to get erections.
Look, there's a monkey on it.
Make the monkey noise. Woo, 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 woo."
Okay.
And then it gets
First
stuck.
That kid in Indiana who got his dick stuck in a fidget spinner.
Fun and terrifying at the same time.
Like helicopter.
Do the
Helicopter.
fingerlings fit on your finger?
Yeah.
I've never actually seen one outside of the
That was
box.
They do.
$50 for this shit toy.
Yeah, they do.
And they talk.
Kids are weird.
Oh, what was I?
And number,
Uh-huh.
okay.
Go on, go.
I was just going to respond to your other comment. It was a line in a movie I heard the other day, and it said, in regards to men and their penises, so go through the dirty dishes and stick it in one that's still warm.
Ew. Do you want the cat?
Remember
They
the
don't
dinosaur?
like it.
You have a lot to learn about American washing up.
Remember the dinosaur fingerling we saw the other day, and I flipped it over, and it's a dinosaur named like Metal Jaw or something.
So, rewind, can you say you saw some dinosaur fingering the other day?
Yes.
Even better, on the back of the toy container, it says, I came, I saw, I ate out of the box, or something like that. What the hell did it say?
Wow.
Like that. I'm like,
So
oh
which
my god.
dinosaur would be the best
Get
for
her.
fingering? The Triceratops?
Over to Skipper,
The
alright.
Dilophosaurus?
Skipper, do you have a comment on this one? Which is the best fingerling dinosaur there is? You know what? I've got
She
it.
wants up there on you.
What do you call a lesbian dinosaur?
What?
A legalopus?
You know what? You're going to have to make an apology in 10 years for that shit right there.
I demand an apology.
She wanted it on you.
Well, I
Sorry,
tried to
not
get her.
sorry.
I'm not sorry. My hand. Lick a lot of puss. Lick a lot of puss. It's like, what's the difference between a Ritz and a lesbian?
What?
One's a snack cracker and one's a crack snacker.
It's like the classic joke. Did you hear about the lesbians that opened up an ice cream parlor? It's called Lickety Split.
There's a comedy program in the UK called the Russell Howard Hour, and it's been through several series now, but when it first started out, one of the things he used to do was he got people in off the street, just regular passers-by, that they genuinely went and snagged minutes before the show started from outside. And they would ask them what they did for a living, pick somebody interesting, get them to come into the studio, and in the first couple of minutes of the show, they would have to appear behind a podium, answer questions about what they did for a living, and then the studio audience would vote on whether their job or their occupation was interesting enough. If it was, they got a free seat and they got to go and sit in the audience and watch the show for free.
Nice.
And on about the 4th or 5th episode, they had a lesbian couple that they'd found on the street who just started their own business. And they had a homemade, like a cake baking business where they used to custom make cakes for people. And their shop was called 2 Girls, 1 Cupcake.
That's fabulous.
That's great.
Oh, she's coming to get you.
Nice.
And Toei has responded to.
And I bet it was all
Don't
finger
leave it.
looking good.
Damn right.
What?
Hmm.
Sorry, somebody posted in the Talk of the Tavern conference. Oh my God, what did Chris
What is
put
that?
in here? It's this. I need my
What
reading
the
glasses.
hell?
Can you read the?
Okay.
So, just for our viewers, here I have Discord on my second monitor, and I can't go look at it because then you guys see. Let me just show you what you see. You see this on the screen, and you're like, "What the hell did I just see?" Which, by the way, that was great because just in the upper left-hand corner there appeared the cartoon that you and I are like, "What the hell did we just see?"
That's awesome.
It's, Skipper says, I've seen the fingerling dinosaurs, but I've never handled them.
You're not supposed to handle them. You're supposed to fingerling them.
And there's the go to fuck to sleep video from Chris.
Candles. Oh, I see your candles. They're beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, that's
In the picture,
awesome.
keep
Oh, that's so much work. Oh, you poor thing.
For 3 minutes and 45 seconds worth of a 3-hour show.
But it's more than once,
Style
right?
of that cartoon, having just looked at it in close up, reminds me of one my friend sent me the other day that was equally amusing, and it was a picture of Aquaman.
Yes. Is there more?
And
That's just
he's
funny.
just about to get lucky with a woman. And she says to him, do you need protection? And he says, no, there's no need. I'm covered with a protective layer of mucus. And the caption underneath says, not all superpowers are sexy.
Ew.
I'm just trying to decide how much more often I would hug people if I was covered in a protective layer of mucus.
Are they going to put that in the new
That
Aquaman
wouldn't
movie?
stop.
Are they going to put that in the new Aquaman movie? Is he going to be covered in a...
Maybe, I don't know.
That'd be great.
Only after going down on Mira.
I think if they let Jason Momoa get anywhere near the kind of women who are going to go and watch that movie, he's going to end up covered in a layer of protective mucus.
That's not protective. Just mucus.
Aggressive.
Aggressive mucus? Ew.
What drink would be good in an Aquaman movie?
What, you mean like for product placement or something?
Or, no, to watch. Like,
Cr-
if you're going to have a drink.
Kraken.
You're watching
Kraken.
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 Release the Kraken.
Crack and rum.
Forget about-
Sailor
oh,
Jerry's?
Sailor Jerry's would be good.
Nice.
Really, every spiced
And
rum is...
Navy rum.
Named after that shit.
Yeah, every spiced rum is kind of nautical themed, isn't it? Blackheart has like a hot pirate chick on it, and
They did a special a couple of years ago where in each of their they were selling them in the round metal containers, and inside they had a 50s style pinup girl. And there was 10 of them or something
awesome.
like that, and I got all of them except the one I didn't want.
oh, good.
Or all of the ones except the one I wanted. Yes.
I need
Before
to
they stopped making them.
I need to
Yeah,
I need to interrupt, if I may, please.
Good.
Okay,
yeah,
Win has posted, wow, the Chinese knockoff fingerling dinosaurs come with fart noise option.
Oh my god.
Classy.
Yeah, it is.
I'm trying to imagine what a dinosaur fart would exactly sound like.
Well, as long as it's not with realistic smell, we're good.
I imagine it have more of a roary noise. Rawr.
I'm internally chucking at the concept of a toy called a fingerling that makes a repetitive farting noise.
It'd be called queefing.
It's when the secret unicorn that lives in your vagina sneezes.
I don't have a unicorn in my vagina.
Kevin, I had a friend from New York send me a lovely little lighter. Of course, it's green, violet. But on the bottom, there's a green light.
No.
Yes.
So everything could be pickle colored.
Nice.
If you can't find your Coke, you know, you can use your light.
But then it would look like pixie stick dust if it's green.
Speaking of that, you should watch Happy Time Murders. Just saying. What? Why are you looking at me like that?
What are happy time murders, other than what I do in my head on a daily basis?
It's a really horrible puppets. Oh my god, go ahead.
You know who the Henson Corporation is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, this is Henson Alternative. Ha!
That's what it's
Run by Brian Henson and the Henson Corporation. They teamed up with Melissa McCarthy and made an adult cop puppet Melissa McCarthy movie. So there you go. If you're familiar with both sides of that fence, you can now imagine what you're in for.
Yeah, just watch it and just watch it. And then we'll discuss it.
Don't tell me what to do.
And I will
It's not movie 43, but you know.
Skipper adds, this sounds like the perfect time in the conversation to mention that I recently purchased fossilized dinosaur poop.
Coprolites.
Do they vibrate?
And if not,
Am I the only one who heard you singing that to the tune of Israelites in my head?
what is
I
the
have some somewhere.
Israelites? I
No.
thought we freed them all.
They're not on my fossil shelf, but I wonder where my dinosaur poop is.
Well, who doesn't wonder that?
If you like fossils, you'd love the island where I live.
Yeah.
It's true.
You can, the whole south coast of the island, you can walk down there after a heavy storm and just pick them off the beach without having to dig.
And then get attacked by a raptor from behind.
Ammonites, trilobites, all kind of stuff. My mate collects some gigas. He's got a couple of enormous gigas.
Trilobites and all kinds of things from Hellraiser.
Nice. Here's a good one.
Oh, nice.
Oh, wow.
Is that poop?
No, that's his starfish.
Here's my starfish.
That's where the
We have
poop comes
a
from.
place like that here in Maryland called Calvert Cliffs.
Round the back, the poop comes out.
Found when I was like 10 or 11 in the Boy Scouts. This guy, it's a fossilized barnacle.
Oh, nice.
It looks like an uncircumcised penis head.
It is.
A little.
A duck penis. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to find you a picture of one Glenn found the other day. It's like every fossil hunter's wet dream piece of. Just because it's
Dinosaur
got
penis?
loads of.
Is it a naked
different
woman?
within the same rock?
Nice.
Do they have fossils of dinosaur penises? Do dinosaurs have a penis?
Specific.
Fair question, isn't it, really?
Did they have a
This
bone in? This
place
is the
in
question.
Pennsylvania that does
Oh, check it out.
bird fossils.
Oh,
Oh, it's so cool.
So there's a whole bunch of coal there too. So they've now blocked off the area to start mining coal again because they found, this guy was just walking in the woods and saw this giant rock, started pulling off the shelves of the rock, and it had all of the ferns in it, and they were like, oh, what else is this? And picked up a chunk, and it's apparently really good quality coal. So they want to close off the area, and everyone's trying to buy up the mountain where they found this.
I want to make it clear that Trump's policy has made this easier for them to do.
Yeah.
Right after Congress-supported research came out going, we're fucking shit up! Back it up! Back it up! Trump is like, it's okay. Let's make it easier to mine coal and oil.
Well, you know.
I like to be warm.
So do I, which is why I'm not enjoying my house.
Turn on your TV. It should produce heat.
Yeah.
Where do you think electricity comes from?
I know. It's what I tell people when they're like, oh, we need to stop using, we can use electric cars. I'm like, do you know how we produce electric?
Well, the other day,
It's coal
yesterday,
power.
when it started snowing, we passed, because there's like a solar panel farm thing out here, all covered with snow.
What happened?
They're pushing that right now in Smithfield, the solar panels.
There's a bunch of
And,
places out here.
Yeah, a friend of mine had them installed in his house, and I haven't gotten to contact him and talk to him about it. So,
Well, this is
updated on me.
like fields with solar panels, just like tons of solar panels.
Mm.
Oh,
I want it.
It's incredible,
is that
isn't it?
cool?
Yeah.
I'm just trying to find you a picture of the one he was prepping earlier today. Sent me a couple of pictures from his workbench.
Wow, look at that. Holy cow.
That's not a cow.
But
It could be early versions.
there we go.
Joe, are you going to fossilize yourself when you die, Chris?
No, I will probably turn myself into the family jewels.
Oh.
They can take your ashes and compress you
Yep.
into a jewel, and
Then we could put them in that little thing that looks like a leather sack and hang it from the back of our pickup truck.
So, but what if you are bound to it? Like, what if you haunt whoever wears those jewels?
That would be awesome.
look at the size of that thing.
That's what I
Oh,
thought.
nice.
He's got about 4 or 5 that size.
Yeah, it does.
Jeez. It's so pretty.
He's got another one, but he's only just started prepping it as well, which is it's a straight one. It's actually uncurled. Just got one slight curl on one end.
What is
I
it?
reckon it's probably about 3.5. Fossils.
I mean, but what animal is it?
I'm not an expert. It looks like an ammonite to me, but I could be entirely
it's
wrong
probably
there.
a species of ammonite. I've got like a teeny tiny little one.
Oh, don't be so hard on yourself.
That's cool. To be honest, though, the little ones are nice because you quite often get a lot of definition on them. It's very it's unusual to get a lot of where when you start cleaning it up to try and reveal the shape, it stays intact. Smaller ones are a lot easier to clean and get a complete, good-looking fossil out of.
There's a rock that comes out of is it Montana? That's all fossils, and I tend to cut it and make it into.
Glenn keeps in touch with a lot of fossil collectors around the southern part of the UK, and sometimes if he's got stuff he hasn't got time to prep up, there's a couple of other people who send stuff off to them to be prepped and stuff. And one of the guys that he interacts with, the first picture I put up, that lump of rock is 10 inches across, maybe. It's not enormous. Some guy rang him a few days ago and offered him $3,000 for it.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
That's probably like a $5,000.
One moment, gentlemen. Wynn, you have a good night. Thank you for popping in. She says, I need to cut out. Glad I was able to catch your show. It's been too long. Her absence, not our show. So some people would say our show is too long.
It's been lovely to have you around, Tony.
Good to see you again. Hope you're doing well. And show us pictures of your Christmas outfit and your Christmas decorations, because I'm sure you have gone and done incredible things with both. So, oh, by the way, if you're not doing anything, if you're not doing anything on Christmas, I believe we're going on Christmas Day to a Chinese buffet in Newport News. Welcome to join us. Okay, sorry to interrupt, gentlemen. Please go back to discussing. Is Chris leaving or?
He's like, screw you guys.
He's running away to grab something.
That's the pee-pee walk. No, it's muscle walk.
It's very similar.
Look, I would have been done if I didn't have to restart it
I would love to have
twice.
like a newscast. and
Getting
just
his rocks off.
Getting his rocks off.
I'm hungry now.
Yeah, you are.
Because they said that?
Knobs on.
I don't know.
On the Christmas time, instead of Elf on the Shelf, we should do a content.
Is it red and green?
Oh.
Is the Christmas cunt red and green, Elizabeth?
The content on the couch. I think she's changes colors, actually. She gets bigger.
Don't know how well you'll be able to see it, but it's called Turritella.
Oh, wow.
Put a sheet of paper behind it so it focuses on that instead of you.
If there's not enough, let's see, let's get a brighter screen.
Put your hand behind it.
We're just trying to get the camera to focus on it instead of you.
No.
See, the focus is still on you.
Yeah, it's because we're getting reflection off of the surface because I polished it so well.
Yeah, you did.
You
So glad to
polished
see
it?
your knob.
He polished it.
No. I'll have to take a picture and post it.
Yeah, you will.
You're just gonna have to take a picture of it and post it.
And the fun thing about it, because it was a spiral snail shell, and sand got in the inside, and then it agatized. So you can see the grains of sand inside the swirl.
Oh, awesome. That's cool.
Oh, no way, man. Oh my God, take a picture of that.
We do have a wide range of geeky interests, don't we?
I sure do.
Between all of us.
I think the fossils are impressive. You should see some of Glenn's sculptures. Guy Blount, I've known this guy for in excess of 20 years now. We shared a flat together when we were younger. And
So was he the one that did your penis that your now wife helped with to give to the girl at work?
Was he what?
The guy that helped make the sculpture of your penis that your now wife helped make to give to a woman
I
at
made
work.
it myself with my now wife's assistance. Glenn had no artistic input in that particular creation.
He doesn't help with his
Could have been a
penis.
hell of a
The
start.
recycling of beach refuse rather than plaster of Paris and male genitals.
My input would have been googly eyes. What, Chris?
Oh, sorry, I'm talking to myself.
Ah, very good.
Struggling.
I don't know if this picture you can actually see well enough.
We believe in you, Chris. You can do it.
Actually, yeah, thinking about it.
Think
Sorry,
so.
bear with me a second. I can't. You can't post images into Twitch, can you? But I can share a link to Glenn's sculpture page.
If they're
Oh, I thought he
online,
was
you
going to
can.
share a link to his penis. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't know if you can do that.
I must
Yeah.
use the bathroom before they start with that.
We'll miss you.
Yeah.
Can you turn my alarm off?
And I've got some dinosaur bone that I've cut
Oh.
Nice.
red, and
Oh, that's cool.
that fluoresces very interesting colors under infrared, essentially. Under long wave and short wave UV, it turns this really bright green, even though it's this red color.
Cool.
I've thrown a link. Glenn, the guy I know who's got all those fossils, I've just thrown a link in Twitch for his sculpture page. So if you are the kind of person who's so inclined to show support to my friends, please don't give his page a like.
Hells yeah. Oh, that's a pretty cool octopus.
Oh, the one made of sea glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all composed, you know, like when you find those bits of glass bottle that become rounded with repeated washing in the tide and they've gone all smooth around the edges. He collects that and has other people, the kids and stuff, who collect the stuff for him by the buckets, and he uses it in his sculptures a lot. His big thing is that he buys very little, if any, materials for his sculpture. He either scavenges it from the beaches or he reclaims it from other people's piles of rubbish. So he upcycles and recycles waste, especially when it also contributes to beach cleaning.
That's awesome.
Yeah, there's a couple of places. There's a beach under the Golden Gate Bridge out in California that the way the currents are has washed a majority of the glass that ends up falling in the bay to this one specific beach.
Oh, right.
And it's just, you know, mostly sea glass. It's really, really cool.
Nice.
the lighting in my room is not good to show off in.
Glenn he's just, I don't know if there's any pictures I could find easily, but he's just done a really cool project where him and a bunch of friends went around and they collected up hundreds of plastic milk cartons off the beach, all identical looking ones. And then he took them to a local school and they did a sculpture where each child was given a milk bottle and they cut it up and turned it into a fish.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, highlighting the whole how much plastic there is in the oceans kind of thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
It's quite interesting to see the pictures afterwards, actually, because all the fish are constructed in exactly the same way from the same type bottle, but yet that each one is individual because it's been stuck together slightly differently, or painted or designed a bit different. Quite interesting. Sharing a flat with the guy was interesting. He used to freak people out. You used to walk into our lounge and there was an 8-foot dragon squatting at the end of our sofa.
Nice.
So kind of sat in a semi-crouched position, leant forward, holding a glass orb in its hands, and it was kind of looking down into it like it was telling a fortune. And it stood 8 foot tall and had a 6-foot wingspan, and the glass lit up from the inside. It was the reading lamp we used for our sofa.
Oh, nice.
His name was, he's still got him. His name was Dougal.
Nice.
He's made from all kinds of weird stuff. His head's made from an old diver's flipper. He's got bits of washing machine pipe in there and all sorts.
One of my theater classes in college was a props making class, and we had to construct an insect from random things in the prop shop warehouse, and I ended up creating a cicada killer wasp whose body was the 2 head of lampshades, and his head was a sponge with these things, and his legs were old piano keys, and his wings were made out of paper Chinese lanterns.
Oh, neat.
And the professor liked it so much that it's still hanging in the props shop at the university.
Nice.
Wow.
It's their
That's cool.
display piece. It's also huge. It's 3.5 feet long.
Nice.
No, none of these things.
None of these things is not is just like the other. I changed it.
Hmm.
So who's your secret Santa, Andrea?
Oh, it's one of the people at work. We draw names. One of our customer service cashiers. That's who I got.
Do you know the person?
Yeah. A bit. I mean, at work. Because I worked with her for a couple years.
Is she deserving of a scarf handmade?
Yeah, because she's like, I don't care what to get. I'd be happy to get soap or toilet paper. I'm like, okay, that's my kind of person. Practical stuff.
Give me some socks and underwear. Oh, wait. John said done. What's he say done about?
Give her a fingerling.
She probably already has them because she has kids.
Probably.
What?
Anybody?
I don't know what he said done about. No idea.
Anybody else?
What?
John said done. What is he done about?
Oh, he probably
I don't know.
All kinds of things, I'd imagine.
checked out Kevin's friend's page
Yes, yeah.
for the sculptures.
Gotcha.
I'm
Okay.
thinking that's what it is, but I'm not sure.
I can't share it to Twitch, but I found a picture of Dougal.
That's
But it's
cool.
this is an old iteration of it where he was fully decorated. But for the purposes of illustration, for those of you who are hosting the show, there's a picture of Dougal in Discord.
Oh, nice.
I don't think this is long enough. I might have to make it longer. What do you think?
What I posted was the original color of that dinosaur bone that
Oh, that's
I
pretty.
made, and then it under
The light.
shortwave ultraviolet.
Oh wow! Look at the difference
really
in
cool.
that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
That's your chocolate.
Yeah, and then the other one's under the light.
And like I would have never guessed that reddish, slightly browny blue dinosaur bone would fluoresce the bright green and pink.
Yeah, that's why it's such a drastic change, isn't it? It's
Wow.
awesome.
Where's that?
That's probably Madison Square Park. Elizabeth posted that.
Oh, Elizabeth posted it. Okay. Yeah, I don't have my phone in here, so.
Oh, that was Rockefeller Center.
Oh.
Oh,
Is that the lamp?
That's-
Oh, yeah, that was the reading lamp.
nice.
Yeah, that's Dougal.
That's cool.
And John, we will get him next time.
What?
John says, forgot to give you cards for Kevin when you came by.
Oh. We'll
The,
see you
um,
again.
The magic care package is in my kitchen, awaiting some postage.
Oh.
There's a certain amount of improvisation that's taken place in this year's parcel. That's the only hint I'm giving you till it arrives.
Say the hint again.
There's been a certain amount of improvisation in putting your box together.
Can you say the last part of that sentence, but do it low and slow?
There's been a certain amount of improvisation in putting your box together.
Victoria will be on any second now.
That's how it happens.
Hang on a minute.
She has like a sensor or something. I don't know. It's,
You'd seen the pictures she posts of the view from her window of that arch.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
I reckon that's just her Kevin amplifying device.
Could be. She hooked a wire to that and it's her antenna now. What are you doing, Elizabeth? Are you like setting up
No.
like explosive wire charges and you're stretching it out across the
Priming
living room?
cord.
Thank you. I couldn't think of a priming cord.
This is a glorious moment. Behold, the board.
Mm.
The board is back and there's gonna be... Phone fell.
Oh, yeah, right.
The board is back and... That's right.
I thought I'd do something in the spirit. I
Oh.
forgot. I was sitting there having such fun chatting.
Do you have a clip?
Be more specific.
One of
please.
those black clips? Not being racist.
Yes, but I have to go digging through a drawer over here. Hold
I
on,
just
fish.
don't want
I'll be
to.
right back to
I've started this twice, and I don't want to do it again.
Just here. Are those big enough?
I just need one.
You don't always get what you want.
But if you try sometimes,
Mm,
you just might find.
Find out.
What?
Got what you need.
That's right. Zazzle one's on you.
I don't care.
John's off to close
Look.
the door.
Good night,
Okay.
John.
Well, he's
Look at
Hey,
closing-
John, thanks for
Look at
coming
this.
by, man. Thanks for liking Glenn's page.
Get their belly.
She's purring.
John. Get belly, John.
John, get your belly, John. Get your belly, John.
Get your belly. Get it.
I should blow up my blue ball.
Yeah, it's only been a year.
You should.
Mm-hmm.
And she's
Oh,
got
yeah,
pearly
there are
white
pictures
goo.
of Eagle's bottlefish.
Oh, you found it? You got some there? They're cool.
Yeah.
Glenn, like I say, he never ceases to
Other side.
surprise me.
He's
He's
on
got
this
one of
side.
those brains where he can look at what looks like a pile of useless rubbish to somebody else and within moments envisage it being not only something constructive but beautiful as well. And some of this, yeah, that's the one he's working on at the moment. That's his current project. It's kind of like a first attempt at it. Yeah, crazily talented guy. And an absolutely lovely bloke with it as well. He's involved with, I don't know how much I can say, but he's potentially going to be involved in a big project that's taking place here in the UK that they're just trying to get all of the kinks ironed out of for the start, which is a project
Brexit?
towards the southwestern tip of the UK, towards Cornwall way. It's going to be called Jurassica. which is essentially going to be a large theme park about the dinosaur remains that can be found in the UK. But it's going to they're not aiming for something like Jurassic Park.
Did they?
There's elements of that kind of thing to it as well.
Oh, I don't want to see that.
Well,
I've
these
seen
giant
Jurassic
dominates
Park.
It's going to be like a cross between Jurassic Park and the Eden kind of thing. I think the idea is to have like a couple of biodomes where obviously they're not going to recreate a Jurassic flora and fauna, as it were, but they're going to have displays in areas where they're going to attempt to replicate as closely as possible so people can experience what it would have been like to walk through a Jurassic jungle, that kind of thing.
Are you leaving?
Yeah. Until the rides come alive and try to eat you.
Yeah. Nope. That's all right.
Spare no expense, Kevin. Spare no expense.
Glenn built the coolest stilt costume I've ever had the privilege to wear, which is he built a plastic raptor called Bertie, which is actually it was a mobile moving sculpture because it stood still on a base and just looked like a raptor made out of plastic recycled from beaches, but it was built so that a guy wearing Dura stilts could actually stand inside it and lift the whole thing onto his body and actually walk around inside the raptor.
There's a video.
Yeah. Quite probably he took it to a few festivals, took it down to the March.
Raptor.
That's the one.
It's got lights on the inside.
Yeah, it weighs it's workable as a still costume, but it weighs a fucking ton. You aren't going anywhere quickly, let's put it that way. But it was great fun. We took it to festival here on the island, which it's no longer exists, or it does, but it's moved to the mainland. It's like a big music festival on the island, and spent the whole weekend looking around. The idea being to attempt to promote awareness of beach rubbish, but it just ended up with us spending the entire weekend posing for pictures with absolutely wasted hippies, which is amusing in its own way.
I'm reading about the care of my blue ball.
Of course you are.
After each use, wipe your ball down with a soft cloth and a solution of warm water and gentle cleansing agent. Do not use abrasive or harsh chemical cleaners on your ball. Mm-hmm.
Makes it difficult to buff a good shine onto them afterwards.
It does. Hold on, there's more instructions here. Oh, it's how to use your ball properly. Like you do. Is Fred giving you a hard time there, sir?
He's just whinging at me because I dared to not pay attention. So for a whole 3 minutes. Go on then. If you want fussing, you get up on my lap. No, I'm not kissing you.
Look, Chris, I'm gonna make it to the water.
Have you done that quest yet?
Oh yeah, quite a few times.
He was very excited about that.
I shared the information with Andrea the day after it happened. I needed a day to enjoy it all by myself.
I really want one of those knitting bags that you put your yarn in. And only the
Bag?
knitting bag where the yarn comes out the top so the cats don't take it. Oh my.
Travis, in case you ever wonder what I look like if I grew a mustache.
Italian.
Hey Fred, it's a Travis.
Oh my goodness.
I know he misses me.
Buonanotte. Prego, prego. Chiudi.
Grazie mille.
Grazie.
Spaghetti.
I've been watching a lot of Fawlty Towers.
Oh, yes.
Fawlty Towers?
That reminds me of the
Well, Mr. Fawlty, he put basil in the ratatouille. Don't mention the war. You seen that episode yet?
No.
It's widely regarded by Brits as one of the funniest episodes of the Faulty Towers series, and he has some German guests. He spends the entire episode trying to avoid him not mentioning the Second World War, and therefore inevitably mentioning it quite frequently.
Right. Let's see, where am
I don't even know anymore.
Oh, you need to lose weight, Fred.
Oh.
Or I need to buy a lap tray.
They're not looking at you.
Just make a blanket like a hammock, and like you tuck it under both your legs, and you can widen your legs. And
Squirrel is.
You want him
There
to
he
widen
is.
his legs? What are you talking about?
yeah.
So I normally get pussy.
Aren't his legs wide enough?
White?
If you like variations.
Oh my god.
I'm on season 1, episode 5.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, I don't think you're too far off, actually. It's great. I live on an island, so all the coast of my island was full my whole life with little guest houses and boarding houses, just like Faulty Towers, run by a series of crazy eccentric hotel owners.
Yeah, I'm on Gourmet Night. The next one is called The German, so
Yeah,
maybe
it's
Oh,
eventually
no.
I'll have
Outstanding.
to watch that.
By the way, as we close on the 11 o'clock hour, or 4 a.m. in the UK, I do want to let everybody know we will probably... are we doing World of Warcraft after this, or Chris?
Certainly.
Very good, and I'll probably switch over to the other channel and try to get it set up. So we'll see about that and how that works out.
Sit, stay.
Yes, sir.
Andrea may or may not be joining us.
I'll play for a little bit and then I gotta go take care of my cat because she's like decrepit and she needs cuddle time.
I'll send you over, Fred, and take care of her, won't you?
Will he do old pussy?
It's Fred, he'll do anything.
Yeah.
He's large enough to try small dogs if they sit still long enough.
Oh god.
He's like,
There's a reason the neighbor's chihuahua shakes.
It is now.
I'm glad you were sensitive enough not to just call them bitches. Almost there.
You should have started at the beginning of the show.
God,
Very
it's like
true.
you were there last night. What are you doing? What are you? Oh, it's
You
your
know, it's probably
ball.
really loud on there too.
Pumping and breathing hard. What are you gonna do?
That's not breathing.
I'm coloring a ball. How funny is that?
Yeah, you are.
Is it 0.6% black?
No. But it's red.
Oh my god.
I look over and see this.
Her belly.
Yeah, that's her belly I'm talking about.
It's not my belly. What the hell are you doing here?
Can I have my arm back?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I have to keep on switching hands because one gets tired after a while.
Yeah. That'll happen.
Yeah, you should work on their hand strength then.
Yeah.
It's actually the bicep that's hurting because I've got a full range of motion going on for this one.
Yeah, it does.
I just like to do this and stare straight at the person.
I think you settled now.
Well, obviously, it is my practice. Well, training session.
I don't pump it up often enough, that's for damn sure.
My tire was flat one time and all I had was a
How
bicycle
flat
pump.
was it?
Even the mice were hunched back.
You've got it's so it was so flat.
Whatever. But all I had was a bicycle pump in the back of my car and that's what I pumped the whole tire up with.
What song did you sing?
No.
I didn't.
Were you all
I
like,
can't
pump
do
it up, pump it up?
No. No.
Pump up the jam. Pump it up.
I don't want to pump the jam. Just tired.
Chris,
1992.
oh my God.
What the hell? Are you making guacamole?
Just tell me what to do. Okay.
I think she's using her left breast this time.
There we go. Now that's happy.
You know, for somebody who is told not to decorate, there is a hell of a lot of decorations going on.
Just in her room.
Yeah, and I got 3 Sundays walls. Did you see that?
Nice.
Yeah, and I got a little tree.
I like it.
We have a
This
little
is my
tree.
room, bitch. I do what I want.
That's right.
Did I tell you I succumbed to the season finally and let the flowers up?
Oh.
Let them put it up. Okay, let's see. Does it light up?
Hey, you got a tree.
I wasn't sure if you had electric over there in England yet.
Yeah, we do, but you'll have to hang on a minute. I've got to nip outside and crank a few turns on the
I
generator.
was gonna say, you gotta put the pounds in the machine.
Get Fred on the little turntable to run around for
Oh,
a
the
few minutes.
hamster wheel. Yeah, that would be great.
A few more logs in the scene under
Hey!
Nice.
There she
Beautiful.
You alright there, Frank? Sorry, what are you?
You're scaring Otter.
Alright.
Don't upset me, cat. It's not too late to give my Birmingham Python a Christmas present.
Oh.
Not Otter. He's the softest.
I think I got it.
A bit of close called, you know.
It is a very...
My big snake eats some pretty big meals, but actually, looking at Fred now, I'm not entirely sure you wouldn't think he was too big a meal.
Cut him in half.
I like it. Bite size.
My cat is definitely staring at me with a very judging look as I inflate my huge blue ball. Oh.
What blue ball?
Thanks, Jamin. It's fossilized dinosaur poo.
Is that a hair in it?
I don't... Probably be a
I don't want to.
mammal.
Alright.
Can I hold it up there for everybody there, and then down here for everybody else? There you go. There's some fossilized...
Awesome. That's pretty cool.
Oh, that's cool.
That's shitty.
Okay.
It's pretty shitty.
Indeed.
Oh, I can't reach it. Oh, well. Never mind. Alright, I did the board in record time, but the cord won't allow me to show it to you, so you have to wait till I post it on the channel.
Alright. That was damn good.
Look at
That
his
was
jiggly
dancing.
sack. You want me to just, you cup it like
What,
this?
5 minutes till we go?
Blue balls. Yes.
It's just one ball.
5 minutes till we finish. I'll be back in sleep.
Dance off. Sprinkle.
Hell yeah. That's what I do.
We're like 4 different shows at one time right now, aren't we? We're not one unified show at this point. You just pick where you're watching and...
We could do that. They gotta be a word, you know. What joke would offend you the most? A racial joke? A sexual joke? A political joke? Or really?
We got offensive material for everyone.
Would you like a World War II Jewish joke, a gender identity joke, or... Yeah, just those 2 lines right there. That's 10 years from now. It's
They'd
ruining
be like,
some career
we'll
I
be
chose.
back after these messages. Okay, pull you off stage. Fabulous.
anyone's still watching, please. That would be amazing if we could get everyone to turn off. That would be amazing.
Lowest rating of the Oscars ever.
Yeah, but it opens, and then as it decreases, they would find a way to market that.
Skipper says, I've got some fossilized dinosaur egg fragments and several fossilized mosasaur teeth also.
Oh, cool. Of course he does.
Mosasaur, that's the one that
There's pictures. What is she doing to that?
he crossed the Red Sea, right? Mosasaur?
That's the one.
This is the wrong ball for you. It's got a girl on
He's
it.
the one that came down from the mountain to tell us all what not to do.
I'm just imagining the mosasaur coming down the mountain. What? 15! Oops! 10 commandments.
Better than the hippopotamus. Lick a lot of us. Sorry about my hand.
Yeah, you are. She's throwing everything.
Oh, that's...
If we're getting into bad puns, I've got a good one about vampires.
Go for it.
Go.
So I was thinking the other day, and there's so many stories about vampires in Europe, but not in Africa. And then I realized that holy water kills vampires. And they bless the rains down in Africa.
Yeah, they do.
This thing.
I don't think that was very offensive.
Yeah, try harder.
I don't know. Speaking on behalf of the vampire liquor sample zombie community, amen. And what would that be?
But since you're a vampire, suck it.
Suck it!
The VLVE.
Oh my god.
That
That's
was
great.
funny. I like that.
That's great.
That's true.
You gotta throw cunts in there too.
In Africa?
Just everywhere. Just throw the cunts around. Like you do.
I mean, so I sent that to a friend, and they were severely disappointed because they genuinely wanted to talk about why there were no vampires in Africa.
There are.
There are zombies in Africa, actually. There are. It is historical. I can't quite remember it right now. God, shit. Oh my God.
She's having issues.
City's falling all around me.
Okay, I guess I should do the closing tune, right?
Closing toast.
Closing toast.
Before I really practice this.
Here's to cunts and vampires.
I'll drink to that.
Here's being in the right country.
He's drinking out of a straw.
Or a Twizzler. It's hard
It
to
does
say.
look like a Twizzler.
As you do.
Okay, guys, make sure you, oh, you know what, let me do this. Follow the other channel if you want to be included in that sort of stuff. This way we separate and you guys get what you want where you want it.
Segregation.
Where's some outro music? Here we go. Catch you on the flip side. We'll be streaming soon on the other channel.
Tonight, you have one thing that makes the show what it is. Don't forget to join us at the tavern next week. Until then, have fun, keep learning, be good. Now, raise your glass and good cheer.
Trying to pump to the beat, or beat to the pump.
That's his eyeball.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Look over there, I'm being judged. Have a good one, guys.
Bye.
Shut that off and go.
Good night, everyone.